Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 31-point performance last night gives OKC the win in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Tonight, it is the Eastern Conference Finals. The New York Knicks play host to the Indiana Pacers. Game 1 from Madison Square Garden. You can catch all the action right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It all begins at 6:30 with the pregame show.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Hump Day, everybody.
Hump Day!
A triple. That's what that was. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hope you're having a great Wednesday afternoon. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix to my right, and what a day.
A triple, huh?
That was a triple hump.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty cool how we did that. You're pushing buttons, Pledge is pushing buttons. I'm doing my hump day.
Pushing buttons.
Hump Day!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. What a day. What a day. A lot to talk about today. We get to keep pushing tushes.
I mean, yes. Push on. As much as I cannot stand, as much as I sport hate the Philadelphia Eagles, give them credit. Give their social media team credit today. You know, they barely get by. The vote was 22-10. So they fell 2 votes shy of the NFL getting rid of this thing.
Abandon that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Eagles, a very Nike-like ad, push on in their logo, and it's a photo of them against the Green Bay Packers. Of course, it was Green Bay that put it on the owners' meeting discussion board. So a very birds up, if you will, to the Green Bay Packers.
That was genius.
Well,
I didn't see it until you reposted it.
Well played by the Eagles.
Absolutely.
Sons of
biscuit
eaters.
They win again.
Yeah.
How about that? They're on a roll.
Yeah, it's May.
It's interesting, and we'll talk a lot about the tush push, but Jason Kelsey was there, made a speech, and I guess the owner was there as well, Jeffrey Lurie, and made a speech to the owners, and it was just enough.
20, which means it'll be back on.
Yeah, it will be.
And eventually they'll get the votes to ban it. We'll see. It's bizarre. Although I got to talk about, speaking of pushing and maybe holding, what just happened to you in the last 15 minutes here at the radio station. I mean, the fact that you caused a dog to pee on the floor and then kept walking.
I didn't. I went back and tried to clean it up.
No,
but
you didn't.
No, I really did.
You weren't going to go clean that up.
I wasn't going, but you shamed me into it.
Well.
So I had to do it. But, I mean, it's impossible. You got to need like a cleaner in there. Because there's not only a little puddle, but there's little trails.
It's a trail because you scared the dog.
I didn't scare the dog.
You scared the piss out of that dog.
The dog was running. And Josie, it's Greg Shelton's dog.
It's the station dog.
Got a collar on, so you always know when Josie's coming.
Uh-huh.
Right, so Josie was hooking him, man, towards the door. She was running full speed. Well, Shelton's walking by, and he turns to go into the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Well, poor Josie. I said, come here, Josie. And she's like.
She was afraid of you.
No.
You scared the pee out of her.
She had to pee.
Uh-huh.
Shelton should have, not peed himself and taken the dog out.
Well, obviously Shelton had to pee.
Well, he could have waited. Because if Shelton, I don't know this for 100% certainty, is not going to whip it out and pee on the carpet.
You don't know that.
Well, I don't know that. As soon as I said that, I'm going, wait a minute.
No, but the funny part, and all I did was hear about this. I didn't see any of it, thank goodness. But I know how Josie is, and she's a very friendly dog, but a little bit skittish. And you're dressed up today. You don't look like you normally do. And so I could see where the dog was like, who the hell is this? And then you're going to pet her, and, because when you look at the markings on the floor, it started as a little dribble and then turned into a puddle. I mean, she was moving while she was peeing.
That's incorrect, because I witnessed all of it.
Uh-huh.
It started as a puddle.
Oh.
And then the trail.
Oh. Because did you?
It's kind of like, when you're taking a pee, you gotta shake a little, or you'll leave a trail.
Although, does it work that way for ladies?
I don't know. That's a good question. Was it Josie didn't have any toilet paper?
So no dust.
No, no dust.
But,
just a puddle of pee.
So you didn't. You kind of look. I mean, the trail looks like she started trying to, and then just lost it all.
That poor dog had been drinking beer. I'm going to tell you, she had to pee so bad, man. It was bad. I went back in there, and I got a thing of paper towels, and I stepped on it, but it's like it doesn't do any good.
So you didn't go tell Shelton that the dog peed on the floor?
I think Shelton knew. No, I didn't see Shelton. He left.
So Ryan Eagle comes into the studio, and he's like, man, you won't believe what. And I was like, so you didn't clean it up, and you didn't tell Greg.
No, I'm in
come on,
shock.
dude.
I didn't know what the hell to do. I'm like,
you tell somebody or you clean it up.
But that Josie felt much better. I'm telling you, she kind of hopped up after that, boy, and she was like moving around, and she felt much better.
Did she?
Yes, I know exactly how she feels. Boy, when you gotta go, and after you do, it's like,
Yeah.
Poor Josie.
Did she make those noises while she was?
She did not.
Did she have that look on her face like, I know I'm in trouble,
yeah,
but
she was
I
like,
gotta go.
man, there's nothing I can do about this.
I can't hold it anymore.
I hope you're all right, because I'm sorry, I gotta pee.
And you never told Greg?
Well, I didn't see Greg.
You saw him go into the bathroom.
I saw him. I'm not going to follow him in there to tell him.
Just open the door.
I'm in shock. Yeah, it's like one of those things you see and you're like, what the hell do I do now?
You clean it up.
Well, you can't clean that up.
You tell the owner. And now, that part of the hallway, which you spent a lot of time going down, is going to smell like dog piss.
Well, the cleaning folks will be here. They'll take care of it. They're really good about that.
I mean, except they're going to look and wonder, did somebody just spill water on the floor there?
It's either way.
Well, I mean, that will just dry. It's not going to leave the wonderful odors of dog pee.
I don't know, but the trail might give it away. I don't know. I tried. I got some paper towels and stepped on them, and it wasn't coming out. I tried. Tried to clean it up. I don't want Josie to get in trouble.
Well, neither do I.
Josie's she's a great dog.
And
you know what Josie reminds me of? You remember the dog in The Grinch? It's the sweetest damn dog in the world. And then you got the Grinch. So that's Shelton. And Josie's the little dog in The Grinch.
Grumpy ass Greg Shelton. Who's got such a great dog.
He does.
That peed on the floor today.
She couldn't help it. It wasn't her fault.
But I blame you.
Well, I didn't know she had to pee.
I blame you.
I blame
you.
The owner.
You scared the pee out of her. And now she's going to be banned from the building.
No, she's not.
Or is it Shelton?
Just don't tell anybody. Nobody has to know about it.
There's evidence on the floor because somebody didn't clean it up.
I tried.
Not very good.
What? We had a show starting. I had to get back in here.
I can hear it now. Pledge, will you go see if you can get that up?
Oh, my gosh. I wouldn't do that to Pledge.
Yeah, you would.
Pledge looks like Mr. Rogers today.
Well, let's talk about what everybody's wearing today. If you're on YouTube, and if you're not, get there. Go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Pledge, come on in here on this side of the camera.
Yeah, I kind of thought, first thing I thought about was, you remember Mr. Rogers? You always put that sweater on?
Yes.
That's Pledge today.
Pledge is wearing a cardigan sweater.
He is.
With a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You are dressed up like you've got to go see your probation officer.
Well, maybe I do.
If you're watching on YouTube,
there's Pledge.
There's Pledge. Yeah, say hi, Pledge. Just wave to the audience.
Hi, Pledge.
Shorts and a cardigan sweater.
It's only 105 outside, and he's got a sweater on, this guy.
You act like I go outside.
Yeah. Now you're all dressed up. Now,
I am, yes.
No parole violations. You're not going to see an attorney.
No.
A cool event that I'm actually surprised you are dressed up for.
Well, I'm not going to go over there like I normally come to work when it's hot with shorts on and a golf shirt.
That's what retired people do.
Well, I figure I'm showing some respect to Deborah Knapp. Can't walk in there looking like a...
It's not a funeral, sir.
No, it's not, but it's, I got to
You're dressed like you're about to go on camera. You can't go over to Ken's TV.
I might
looking like a even if you went on TV today wearing shorts and a golf shirt, you're retired. You trimmed up the beard.
I did. You noticed that, huh?
Oh. You might have taken off a little more than you wanted, didn't you?
No, not real. Well, you know, it's weird because shaving under here is a little difficult.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes you clip a little more than you want to on one particular side. So I'm still getting used to it.
Deborah Knapp's final newscast today at 5.
Yes.
Set your DVR. I'm sure it'll be on social media.
I'm sure it'll be all over the place. Yeah, it will be. And I'll take some pictures, too, and post them on our social media stuff. I'll do that.
When was the last time you had to wear something like that?
I guess, 4 weeks ago? Went to a wedding.
The wedding.
Yeah. But no tie.
You're not going to wear. You got a sport coat you're going to throw on?
I haven't decided that yet. I've got it in the car, but I haven't. It's hot as hell outside.
It is, but it's cold in a studio.
Well,
you know that.
I don't care.
I mean, but what I realize is, you probably called old Bill this morning, Bill Taylor, and said, "What color shirt are you wearing?" I'll wear the same, and people will confuse us.
Well, they're going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
He could be wearing, purple, and I got blue on, and they're still going to say,
"Yeah,
what's the weather?"
Mm-hmm. You're going to say what? Uh-huh.
I love you people that confuse me for Bill Taylor. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Uh-huh. Doesn't bother him at all.
No. Now, when I'm, old in the old folks' home, and I might get crabby about it. Those young whippersnappers.
Well, when you're in the old folks' home and somebody's asking you about the barometer rising, that's probably a good thing.
Well, it doesn't anymore. I don't know if you've heard. I don't know.
I got pills for that.
Dude, I hear that in old folks' homes, there's more sex taking place in there than anywhere else.
It is, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in there.
Apparently so.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot going on at the Star in Frisco. A lot going on. In fact, one story that slipped by me, I didn't put two and two together. Old number 4 is able to do everything.
He can walk.
My
goodness.
He can do everything except get hit.
Wow.
Been cleared for everything except contact, which is nuts.
Not really.
I thought it was a horrible injury.
You thought he was going to get his leg amputated.
I did. But we could only hope. I mean, jeez.
Here we go.
Oh, Dak, he's doing okay. We're going to hear from Dak Prescott when we come back, how he is doing, and he seems pretty happy about that George Pickens guy as well. We'll talk to Dak Prescott or hear from him coming up here in just a moment as we continue on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, it is Hump Day. That means you need to make plans for the weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend, so you got to have at least one of those days for a little golf. And the best place to do that is at the Golf Club of Texas. I love the Golf Club of Texas. I love what they've done out there to improve the course. So many improvements. They put a lot of money into that place, and it shows. I'm going to tell you, it is a great place to get out there. You're going to think it's a private country club, but it's not. It is open to the public 7 days a week. Some of the best course conditions in town. In fact, Pledge played out there last weekend, and he said, man, those greens are fantastic. And they are. They are fantastic. You need to get out there. Look, if you haven't been out there recently, you don't know what you're missing. It is a great place to go. And then there's the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. You go out there for lunch or after your golf round, whatever you want to do, whether it's for food, for drinks, or both, it is the best place to do it. It is simply fantastic. The Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether it's for dinner at the 10 Cup, around with your buddies, or your next tournament, you should have it out there. You need to go check them out. Best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC, used with permission.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Have you checked out the new Lion & Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there this Friday. Lion & Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's this Friday, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio.
Is that Simple Plan? Wow, Pledge is too much fun.
Karaoke on the other side of the glass.
It really is, man, with the emotions and everything. Wow. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix. And is this Simple Plan? I don't mean to be ignorant about music, but did you know that?
Yeah.
You did. You've heard Simple Plan before?
Oh, they're big.
They're big?
They've been big since the 90s.
Well, apparently they're going to be in Houston.
They are.
That's going to be cool. If you want to go see them in Houston on September 5th at the 713 Music Hall, well, you can get your tickets at livenation.com, or you could be caller number
9. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 to go down to the 713 Music Hall. Now, it's Simple Plan as the headliner. I'm more excited about Bowling for Soup. They're on this bill as well. Bowling for Soup, great Texas band. Why is this show not coming to San Antonio?
Well, again, I ask you because you're the expert. What is the 713 Music Hall?
Well, it's 713 because that would be the area code down in Houston.
Or
it's like the Aztec.
Okay. All right. So caller number 9, 656-3776.
Bowling for Soup's got a song that kind of relates to you. It's called 1985. You know, you think about your glory days.
I was big in 1985, man. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'll have to listen to that song.
There you go.
It's fantastic.
You've heard it.
That's good.
Trust me, you've heard it.
You think so?
Yes.
All right.
Guarantee.
1985.
Yes.
All right. We got lots to give away today, so stay tuned, including we're going to qualify somebody for the ACL Fest. Again, today we're going to do that. We've got Cowboy cheerleaders coming to the Majestic. You sent me a great email this morning. I did, didn't I? Yeah, you really did. It was a fantastic email.
No words.
Kind of brightened my day.
Yes.
We actually going to have one of the cheerleaders on with us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dara is going to come on with us, and Dara is shiny.
Oh, stop.
Okay? I'm just saying. I shouldn't tell her that tomorrow.
I mean, you can. I'm sure she knows.
I'm sure.
She's a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Yeah, well, she's very shiny. So, anyway, she'll be on with us tomorrow. And we've also got tickets to the Rangers-Cardinals game on May the 30th. So, stay tuned here to the Blitz.
Lots to give away.
Lots
happening. Lots to give away. Interesting because, we're going to the Rangers game that's in Arlington. We've got the Cowboy cheerleaders that are coming to San Antonio. And there's a lot going on in the Metroplex. And one of the biggest surprises, I think, to Joe Reinagel is that Dak Prescott is walking on his own. He doesn't need a chair. He doesn't need a scooter. He doesn't need a cane.
Unbelievable.
The fact that even Dak Prescott said yesterday, I'm a little surprised about all the people that thought I would be so limited.
People say a lot of things about me, man. I just show up and control what I can control and healthy, trying to stay healthy. Feels good. Just trying to push the energy and make sure I continue to get better.
It was interesting because I saw a picture. I didn't see any video of Dak. Maybe you did, but I saw a picture. He was actually running.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's posted some videos from rehab. And again, you think the surgery, I don't know. I mean, it's not an Achilles. It's not, it was said it would be a couple of months before he could get back to doing different activities. It's been more than that. you act like surprised he can actually walk, that he could stand on his own.
The hamstring came off the bone.
Yeah, but they put it back.
I know, but I mean, that just sounds like it might take a while.
No, they remember when bringing memory to mind, that was better than waiting for it to heal. They went in and reattached it. It's stronger now. It's, the difference of getting basically a new tire versus getting them to patch a tire with something you'd buy at the convenience store.
So they retacked his hamstring, and he's good to go.
Got fresh nails in there or whatever it is they use.
The $6 million man.
I mean, yeah, your dog's got a couple of new knees.
Well, yeah, and they recovered pretty quickly. But I thought that this injury would take a little bit longer. And look, I'm not mad at it.
It's May.
Pleasantly surprised. When did he get hurt?
It's
October? Been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so I know you were worried, would he even be ready for the regular season? I've been telling you all along, and I don't know why mentally in your mind you feel like he was getting amputated.
I just thought
all
this
of a
was
sudden,
a little early.
Dak Prescott's going to lose both legs and be the size of Brad Williams back there trying to throw the ball.
Or Deuce Vaughn, one of the two. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
He is gadget juice.
Well, look, I'm happy for Dak. I'm happy for him. I really am because, I mean, geez, he gets back to the OTA. They had to be happy about that, all of that stuff. And he was asking about his brand new boss, Shoddy, and how he thinks
he's doing a hell of a job. He's doing a hell of a job. Great job in building the culture. I mean, look at him right there, seeing and dapping off guys, and that's him. You're going to see him around weight room, the field, the locker room. Preaching about competing every day, but not only that, we're doing them in team meetings, competing at practice, and that's the part about today's practice, right? Is that fine line of competing, but doing it smart and being disciplined about it. And he's just doing a hell of a job building the culture, and in a sense, starting over and understanding that, yeah, we do have to do it from the ground up, and it's been fun.
It's been fun.
You listen to Dak Prescott, and yesterday we played a lot of audio from Brian Schottenheimer. And a lot of talk about culture, competing, buzzwords. Now, we're not back to the point where Jason Garrett had every buzzword printed on a T-shirt, right? But there's been so much of things that you've heard from Shoddy that you're hearing repeated by the players. So they're getting the message and they're repeating the message. But every coach in every organization, I don't care if you're talking about a high school team, college team, pro team, you name the sport, every coach talks about building a culture. So Dak Prescott, we heard this from Garrett, we heard this from Mike McCarthy. What's different about Shoddy and his culture building?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, the approach of how we're building it. I think a lot of times may in the past, I've said it and I've maybe just been talking, and not just talking or naive in a sense of talking about how great just the offenses was, right? And not necessarily the team and not necessarily offense connecting with defense, connecting with special teams. So I believe that Shoddy's doing it the right way from the top down of take the offense and defense away from it, take the positions away from it, take the coach and player aspect away from it, and let's connect. And you're talking to one of the most optimistic people I think you'll find. I've seen it the way that it's going. I see the way that people are buying into it, and it's hard for me to think anything different.
Look, and he means every bit of that. I know he does. But I wish we could go back to the first OTA from Mike McCarthy. And I think you'd probably hear that same speech out of Dak Prescott. I mean, he's good at it.
Sure.
And he's just a positive guy. He said he's optimistic, but he paints a great picture of what's going on, no matter who the coach is.
He does, and there is some of that, but it does feel a little bit different. And not necessarily just because it's new, because, quite frankly, I don't know anybody that was overly excited about the Shoddy hire, and a big part of that is we don't know what he's done. And there's that, we see that with Mitch Johnson with the Spurs, the other interim head coaches in the NBA that got promoted to the permanent job, and the initial reaction is, I'm not sure. But then we also bitch about all the retreads that get hired, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Until Schottenheimer does something, and when I say that, wins football games, there's going to be that negativity. But, Schottenheimer is winning over fans. He's winning over media. And it certainly feels like he's winning over the players as well. Every coach talks about building a culture, but it feels different here And maybe it's just because they've talked specifically about so many of the things that they're doing, the different competitions, whether it's, a putt-off or shooting free throws, the crap that he was giving like Osa for being a poor basketball player, not afraid to call somebody out, that good-natured ribbing that you generally don't hear. What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room, but, fun stuff like that. He's letting the fan base in on what's going on, and it does feel differently. Hard to put a finger on what's exactly different, but at least it does feel different.
Well, I don't know. For me, it's like he's friends with these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's trying to be one of the guys, and my only concern with that is when push comes to shove, and there's something that's got to be done. Can he separate himself from that? Right now, it's great, and the approach is fantastic right now. But you get into September, October, and something goes wrong, and you maybe lose 2 games in a row, and then you got to be a head coach, and that's going to be the test. So we'll see. Right now, I think he's doing everything right.
But that's always the difference between a player's coach and that leader that you fear. And a good head coach that can be a player's coach knows that there are certain times I'm not messing around. And when you know that, I think D'Amico Ryans has that right now in Houston.
Yep.
I'd say Jeff Traylor has that over at UTSA. That guy's going to go to bat for me. He's fun to be around, but when it's time to go to work, player, coach, that relationship is there. If Schottenheimer can do that, Pledge points out Andy Reid. You'd put Andy Reid in that category. Robert Saleh was in that category until things went really south. And so, Andy Reid is an example of it working well for a long time, and Robert Saleh, not so much, because it ultimately comes down to, do you have the right players to go win games?
Well, the right players, Andy Reid's case, he's earned the right.
Yeah.
So he can do pretty much what he wants to do. Robert Saleh hasn't, not as a head coach, and neither has Brian Schottenheimer. So we'll see. And I think he's handling it perfectly in May. But September, October, November, then we'll see, because there will be adversity. There always is, and we'll see how it's handled there. Look, I wish him success. I hope the Cowboys play well. It'd be nice. It would be. It makes this job a lot of fun. It's good for business, Jason.
Either be really good or really bad.
It's good for business.
And the Cowboys are the one exception that could be 8-8, even though they can't be 8-8 anymore because of 17 games, and still be interesting.
Yeah,
I think
always will be.
I think you, Joe, have a lot more fun when they're really bad. Just to be honest, but at the same time, every team, I don't care who you are, be really good or really bad. You can't be middle of the road boring, and except for the Cowboys, and stay interesting and get all the headlines.
Well, what I don't want to happen is that they're out of it early.
Yeah.
You got to at least stand, through November. And then, if you suck then it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But they were boring last year.
They were.
Dak got hurt. You kind of knew they weren't very good, and they weren't going to win many games. So that happens. But they do have another weapon for Mr. Prescott, and that's George Pickens. He also met with the media yesterday. So did CeeDee Lamb, by the way. And, boy, they sound optimistic about their new addition. We'll hear from those guys when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Hey, bada, swing, bada.
How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky.
Bueller.
You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-838-6161. That's 800-838-6161. 800-838-6161.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, NBA Eastern Conference Finals Game 1. Who took it, Pacers or Knicks? We'll talk about it.
The Dallas Cowboys are running around the Star. We'll take a look at what we saw from another day of skills training. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of money that some of these players pay to get a certain number. Mm-hmm. Ashton Genty apparently paid over 6 figures to get the number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible.
What would you pay for 1985? You've heard this
Man, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
And boy, to go back to 1985.
Bowling for soup.
Man, 1985. I was such a knucklehead then, but
not much different in 2025.
It sure was a lot of fun in 1995. No doubt
or
about it. Or 85. What did I say? 95? It was fun then, too. 2005 was pretty good also. I don't know.
Spurs win.
I'm Joe. That's Jason. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's a cool song.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds 80-ish, doesn't it? I guess because it was.
No, it came out in the 2000s or late 90s probably. Trying to think.
Sounds 80-ish, doesn't it?
It's supposed to.
Well, I get it. It does. They did a good job. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like 1985.
I think the lead singer now lives up in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
But I want to say they pledged. We looked this up as I'm saying this completely out of turn. I believe they are actually from Wichita Falls, one of Joe Reinagle's favorite places on earth.
They probably are familiar with the one-arm stripper.
That's what I'm saying.
Origin, Wichita Falls, Texas.
There you go.
How about that? Dude, you had to do something to – I don't know how you live in Wichita Falls.
You moved to Dallas.
You have to. Dude, it's hell on earth.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's incredibly hot in Wichita Falls.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. Probably pretty hot in Frisco too, but Cowboys don't care. They're excited.
They are excited. And again, they've got their outdoors fields, and when they need to, they can go inside. So
little bubble.
If it's too hot, they can get to the air conditioning. But during the OTAs, and it's still voluntary. And by all accounts, the attendance record is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And a lot of good things happening. But George Pickens is there, which no surprise. And you heard Schottenheimer say yesterday. He's a little behind, but doing a lot of work getting caught up. And he talked to the media yesterday. Now, he did a conference call right after the trade, but yesterday was the first real in-person, full-blown Cowboys media session. I know he's done some other things at different events, but really for the first time in uniform at the facility, talking and, again, saying all the right things, starting with he's glad to be in Dallas.
It feels good. Fresh start is always, growing point. So it feels good right now just getting around the guys.
Yeah. What I like about this guy, he's short and sweet, and I'm talking about his sound bites.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to wade through those to figure it out. He gets to the point and he shuts up.
Well, he's been learning a whole new offense. He's studying a lot.
I'm kind of learning plays right now. Every offensively kind of plays are universal all across the league. So just keep working. And then, like I said, we got a lot of rookie guys here too. So everybody trying to, you see what I mean? It's a collective thing.
It's interesting in that. I wonder how much, honestly, when you look at it, how much difference is there from team to team when it comes to offense? Now, I know there's some different twists.
The language.
But the language, maybe, right? But, I mean, once you break it all down, it's just what you call it. A lot of that stuff's got to be the same.
Well, I mean, to a degree, different route concepts, how you're calling different things. It is pretty incredible when you think about learning all the terminology. And one coach told me one time, he's like, what's that online deal where you could take to learn all these different languages that you see advertised all the time?
Rosetta Stone?
Yeah, one of those, right? Hey, but that's kind of what it is. I mean, you get a basic concept of a foreign language because even though everything is kind of the same, the terminology is so completely different. And so when you see quarterbacks especially going from one offensive coordinator to another offensive coordinator, they're learning a whole new language.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
Yeah, it's incredible, especially a quarterback, because the quarterback's got to know everybody's job and everybody's play and route and blocking scheme and all of it. So those guys are all very intelligent folks. There's no doubt about it. But
now when you're thinking about George Pickens, and he owns this because he's created this. There is a perception out there of George Pickens. He was asked yesterday, what's the difference between perception and reality?
That I'm actually like a chill guy. It's like a big phase of a tornado that's not even true. I'm not a chill guy, and I just love to work.
Kawhi's a fun guy. Yeah, I hope he's nothing like Kawhi, that's for sure. I don't know. We'll see. All we can go by, because we didn't cover the Pittsburgh Steelers, so we weren't there every day to see what George Pickens did or didn't do, but you did see his antics on the sidelines. And so that's all we have to go by. If that changes, that's great.
I think everybody's a pretty chill guy until they're not.
Yeah.
Right? And that could change hour to hour. I mean, because while we didn't cover the Pittsburgh Steelers and all we saw were the highlights, we did, when the trade happened, go to the ESPN Pittsburgh Steeler reporter who does cover the Steelers every day, and you go back to what she said, and there are times he was pretty chill, and other times that I can't say that would get me fired if I said that word. All right, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, that's there. CeeDee Lamb talked about the narrative surrounding George Pickens.
I already knew what it was. Got the warning. I mean, I knew who he was as a player. Obviously, just watching him in the Steelers and how passionate he is about the game, I think they kind of get it confused. Once you're so passionate about something, you're willing to do anything for it, right? So as far as winning goes, and I mean, just being happy in an organization, not saying that he wasn't, not saying that he was, but I mean, you never know. He hasn't stopped smiling since he got here, so I'll start with that.
I think that's pretty cool. He hadn't stopped smiling since he got here.
Yeah, he's been here a week.
His face hurts.
I love. No, let's dive into this a little bit. Perception versus reality. We see antics and blowing up and immaturity.
Yes.
CeeDee says that's passion. He just wants to win. Now, if you're winning and you're catching a lot of passes, you're good. If you're winning and you're not catching a lot of passes, then maybe not. And then if you're losing and not catching passes, then you see the outbursts. Is it similar to what we used to talk about with the great Bruce Bowen? I used to call him crafty.
Yeah.
Other NBA cities and talk show hosts used to call him dirty. It wasn't dirty, it's crafty. Is there a difference now that he's a Cowboy? Do we have to learn a new word? He's just being passionate on the sideline. Des Bryant was passionate on the sideline. Other teams, he's having another temper tantrum.
Well, I mean, CeeDee Lamb was passionate on the sidelines for 1 year, and he got over it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he got over it. So maybe Pickens gets over it. And if they are as tight as they say they are, and they complement each other the way that CeeDee Lamb says that they do, there shouldn't be any problems.
Man, we complement each other very well. Obviously, he's a tall figure, obviously. His ability to go up and get the ball at the highest point is amazing. I don't think anybody in the league that can really, I mean, he's up there with the guys in the league, as far as 50-50 balls, deep threat, anything as far as running routes. It's pretty good. It's good to see.
So you hear that. And CeeDee saying all the right things because he's the one. George Pickens is a one. CeeDee said they're both ones. Both those guys are going to demand the football. Dak Prescott talked yesterday about how you deal with keeping two wide receivers like that happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think having a conversation with them up front, maybe there are going to be some games and maybe one or the other, it's tough, right? And that's the beauty of having you two guys is I don't know if it'll ever be tough for both of you. But in that instance, those are two unselfish guys, and truly they want to win. And when you're not winning and you're not getting the ball, trust me, I understand the frustration. So I'm never going to be mad at them for frustrating about wanting to win and wanting the ball. So it's the communication, it's the relationship that we're building and we'll continue to build, whether it's amongst me and GP or CD.
You know, a guy like Dak is a veteran quarterback, and so I don't think Dak goes into a game saying, I got to get Pickens the ball this many times, CeeDee this many times. He doesn't. Dak's going to throw the football to who's open or who the play is designed to go to. That's the way he's going to be. And I've seen players kind of get in Dak's face and yell at him. He just listens and then moves on. And so I do like that about him. And so I don't think he's going to worry about it. And asking those type of questions, I get it. You want to ask him, but Dak doesn't give a damn. When Sunday afternoon rolls around and he's going to throw the football, if Pickens is open, there he is. If it's CeeDee, it's CeeDee.
Well, that's it. And then go back to Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson said that the defense will tell us who is the number one. Bottom line for Dak Prescott, he's got another major weapon in George Pickens.
Huge. Yeah, very huge. I mean, then look at that guy's tape. You see what he does, the kind of receiver that he is. He's going to win the one-on-ones. He can win 2 versus 1 if he has to. Very, very talented guy. When you can add him alongside of CeeDee and the rest of the weapons that we have, I'm super excited.
Yeah, he's got to be excited. The funniest thing he said there, though, and I want to ask you a question, Minix.
Mm-hmm.
How often are you without your phone? For how long? While you're awake, obviously.
Not very.
Not very, right?
Not very.
Well, we've learned from a lot of these football players that they put their phones away and don't think about it for a while. Dak Prescott's the exact same way. Listen to how he found out about the trade.
Pretty funny, I guess. I was actually away from my phone for a couple hours and go back to like 6 missed calls from Jerry's assistant. So had no idea, literally no idea what it could have been about. And actually a voicemail from Jerry. Hey, I got some good news I want to share with you. So I called him back, and he was excited. And he was just telling me that it happened, that it'd be released either later that night or in the next morning. And, yeah, just a lot of excitement from the both of us.
That's kind of cool that, Jerry's trying to get a hold of you, and you don't have your phone for a couple hours.
Oh, all right. Was he taking a nap? Was he in the pool?
Well, he's got kids.
He's got kids. If he's sitting there watching TV, then, yeah, the phone's probably next to him on the chair.
Yes.
If he's in the pool, phone might not be anywhere near, right? You're in your pool. Do you got the phone by you?
Yeah. It's not too far away, no. I'll be honest with you. Yes, it's around.
See, now the other part, and no offense to you because my house is about the same size, but if you're Dak and you leave your phone in one part of the house and somehow you end up on the other side, it might be a couple hours before you get back to it, right?
In Dak's case, yes.
If he went to the kids' wing to put the kids to bed, by the time he got back to his side of the house, unless he's got a little tram in there, it might have taken a couple hours to get back to the phone.
That is absolutely a good point. I just don't think these guys care as much. I mean, for you and I, if phone's necessary, you want to see if something breaks, something happened. Dak doesn't give a damn. I mean, when he's at home, right?
I don't know that you're doing something where you don't have your phone. And for Dak, if it's working out, you're in the pool.
Could be.
Because even if he's on the golf course, he's got his phone somewhere near him. So it's not like, hey, I was watching a movie. I mean, he didn't say what he was doing, right?
No, he didn't.
But, if I could see if you're watching a movie, your phone's away. If he was in the theater part of his house, and again, his phone could be, in the kitchen, it could be 3 blocks away for most of us, right? So, but all these guys, man, they all got their phones, right? I mean, you've been in locker rooms. As soon as they get in there, they're checking their phones.
Yeah, but Dak is he's a mature young man. I understand kids, 21 years old, 22, you got your phone. But Dak, he doesn't give a damn.
I don't
He doesn't care.
He was doing something
Puts
in
his phone down for 2 hours, he said.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he's like Wemby, who shuts everything off at 9 o'clock to get a full night's sleep, maybe. I don't see that from Dak. I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that if he was away from his phone for that long, it was either because of a workout, throwing session, in the pool, doing something. Because any other time, I mean, even when we've seen him, at training camp at times, when he's, not in uniform, that phone's near. It's on all of them.
Every-
Even interviews that we're doing, guys are coming off the practice field. They sit down in front of us. They're in their full gear, and somehow they've got their phone in front of them.
Well, somebody hands it to them as they're walking off the field.
Yeah.
It's nuts how that works.
Yeah.
But, hey, we got some breaking news, Pledge.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City Thunder star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your MVP. Big surprise,
Shocker.
Huh? Wow.
The fact that they announced earlier today they were going to announce it tonight.
I know.
It's like, who's playing? Yeah, this makes sense.
Well, that's old Shams getting ahead of everybody there.
Is he?
No. He was going to win it, and the guy should. Another outstanding performance last night, by the way. He was incredible.
Announce it tonight. Give him the trophy tomorrow before Game 2.
There you go. That's what they'll do.
Yep.
That's what they'll do. Did you know that Bill Belichick's girlfriend single-handedly took down Hard Knocks? Single-handedly.
A lot
took
of power.
Down Hard Knocks.
Jordan Power.
How about that? Just do your job, right, Bill? We're going to talk about that. We'll tell you all about that story and how Jordan single-handedly took down Hard Knocks when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, guys, summer is here. Gatherings, friends, time with friends, family, different activities, going on vacation. But if your energy is draining because of low testosterone, the answer is simple to get that energy back. It's TRT with Synergenics and Low T Center. Go to the website, fixmylowt.com. You think about some of those online TRT services, quite frankly, a bit of a hassle. You spend a lot of money and waste a lot of time with unreliable test kits. Then you got to wait for lab results. They say you meet with a doctor, but sometimes that dude isn't even on screen. You don't want to trust your health to a chat, do you? Then you got to wait again just to get your meds in the mail. Not really the quality care you want. That's why you need to trust the experts. Synergenics and Low T Center have been changing patients' lives for a combined 25 years. They understand what guys need. They are in person, and it's very easy to get started. Never a better time to get started either with TRT, because right now the consultation is free, the T-test is free, and it's fast. They have an on-site lab, so your test gets processed quickly, and if you qualify, if you need it, you can start treatment that day. Convenient locations all over the San Antonio area. Synergenics and Low T Center give you the power to take control of your health. You even have the option for the white glove in-center care or medically monitored custom dose TRT at home. And if you're just looking to lose a few pounds, Synergenics and Low T Center make that easy with prescription weight loss medication, and you'll receive a free B12 shot on the same day. Most major insurance is accepted, so you'll have no excuse. Go get that initial appointment booked right now at the website, fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Have you checked out the new Lion & Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there this Friday. Lion & Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's this Friday, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. It's Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Tuesday, save up to 70% on top brands and get a queen for just $89.99, the lowest price ever. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls?
I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
How is it you not buckle? Cammy, we're not going far. But I know these roads well. This big old truck will protect me and you. Ugh, am I gonna get a ticket?
Save the excuses. Click it or ticket, day and night. A message from TxDOT.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Breaking right now, Oklahoma City star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the NBA's MVP this year. He averaged 33 points per game this season. Well, it has been announced that the NFL Hard Knocks will be centered around the Buffalo Bills this training camp, while Hard Knocks in season will feature the NFC East with the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, and Giants. It's coming this December. And the tush push lives on.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Hump Day, everybody.
Hump Day?
Yeah. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Thanks for taking some time to join us here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix. And it's been a good day. A lot of good stuff happening.
It really is, although I'm going back and forth with the boss right now, booking our stuff for Vegas.
Are you really?
Yeah. Like,
well, that's good.
Only 4 spots left on the return flight.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, book that now.
Yes. Wow. 4. Oh, you just broke some news there, didn't you?
What? No, I'm just it's between us. Sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah, you were. That's okay.
Before we announce what we're doing.
Breaking some news. Yeah,
Circa,
that's cool.
Again
that's
in
cool.
August.
Oh, I've heard of that place.
Yeah.
I like that place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. See, that makes the day even better. Wednesday's the best day of the week. I mean, it just is. Or one of them, certainly.
Hump day.
Yeah.
Hump day.
Yeah. I like Wednesdays. It's a good Wednesday, good hump day Wednesday. Tush Push survives. That's kind of cool, I guess, if you like the Tush Push.
I think you have to follow up with your, yeah.
Yeah. Did you do another
Hump
hump
day.
Tush Push.
I just think every time you say Tush Push, you have to go.
Tush Push.
Hump day.
Yeah. There we go. See, it's a new spin on hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah.
Pledge is going to take all that and create something that you're going to regret.
Yeah, I know you guys are setting me up. That's fine.
We really are.
That laugh. It's about goofy as hell, isn't it? Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new coach, basketball coach at Texas A&M.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bucky Ball.
How about
Bucky McMillan. It's not quite that. Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Jordan Hudson.
Unbelievable.
When is that 15-minute clock hourglass thing going to run out? Why does it keep getting turned over again and again and again? Because, like, every day there are a couple of 3 new stories about Jordan Hudson. Some good, some bad, some, I don't know how you classify it, entertaining as hell. Yesterday we heard about the engagement and Bill changed the name of his boat or at least added some artwork to it.
Which I heard is against the laws of maritime activity. You shouldn't. It's bad luck.
Well, there's a bit of a process to change the name of a boat.
I'm just saying.
I was trying to explain that yesterday.
The old fishermen say that's bad luck.
It probably is. Although, what is his boat called? 8 Rings, right? Which is kind of odd because what is Jimmy's boat? 3 rings, 5 rings, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
So if you keep winning, you're going to keep changing the name of your boat. But also, it's like tattooing your girlfriend's name on your shoulder, and then you break up. Then you got to cover it up or do something, right?
That's never a good idea. Don't do that. Put your girlfriend or boyfriend's name on a tattoo.
Yeah,
that's not a good idea.
Not a good idea. But Jordan Hudson, I don't know. Do you want the business story or the drama story?
Well, they're both a little bit of drama. We'll start with Hard Knocks.
All right.
How she single-handedly took this thing down because, according to Hard Knocks, and this is a quote, the conversation took a turn we were not comfortable with. She was trying to demand all of the things that were going to happen because, if you recall, the rumor was Hard Knocks was going to go to North Carolina and do a Hard Knocks version in college.
Uh-huh.
And so she had some some things that she wanted, and Hard Knocks did not want to do some of the things that she wanted to do. Like
she wanted to approve all the content.
Yes.
And partial ownership. I mean, she is business savvy.
Well, I mean, you got to give her, she's got some stones, apparently.
Sure. When you've got Bill Belichick backing you, you feel like you're a little bit untouchable.
I'm just my aura of Bill Belichick has just gone away. You used to think of Bill Belichick as this guy, this tough, bad news Billy, and all business and do your job. And
I was the guy. I was the Turk. I was bad news Billy.
And now he's just he's a little muffin.
A muffin.
He's a little dandelion or something.
Dude, he's whipped.
Right? Big time.
I mean, you think about everybody that you knows with somebody that you don't think they should be with, and you go, what happened to that guy? Right? That's what's going on with Bill. Although, I mean, this other Jordan Hudson story kind of feels like it's ready for reality TV. Headline on Barstool. There was a cat fight for the ages involving Jordan Hudson, Linda Holliday, and Miss Massachusetts at a Nantucket Christmas event. Now, I didn't know who Linda Holiday was, but apparently that's one of Bill's exes.
Yes.
Apparently that's the chick that Bill left for Jordan Hudson. And Jordan, along with Miss Massachusetts, went to some fancy party in Nantucket. It just sounds rich, right? It does. One of those big events. And it was, shortly after the breakup, and Jordan's going, well, I want to go to this party. I'm new to the neighborhood. I've never been to this before. I'm new to being invited to all these exclusive rich people parties. Let's go. Oh, yeah, Bill's ex is going to be there. I don't give a damn. I'm going to put on something, and I'm going to bring Miss Massachusetts with me, and we're going to go have a good time. And Bill's ex didn't like that.
No. Well, the ex-wife went berserk.
Yeah, oh, yeah. An ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, whatever. I mean, do you?
Well, she confronted Jordan Hudson first.
On a dance floor.
Then she threatened Miss Massachusetts. And according to is that Bill's ex-girlfriend? Miss Massachusetts?
No, that was Jordan's friend who went with her there. But because, Bill's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, again, you need a flow chart to keep up with all the.
You do.
You really do.
I'm confused.
The ex-girlfriend, her name doesn't matter, but it is Linda Holiday. So Linda Holiday went to the people that were throwing on this party, and they tried to get Jordan and Miss Massachusetts thrown out. And somewhere along the way, while nothing was ever done, like Jordan didn't do anything wrong, but because she was there, Linda wanted her thrown out because it was, she shouldn't be there because, rich people stuff, right?
Exactly.
And by the way, this Linda chick, her daughters were DJing this event. Apparently, they're popular DJs up there for all the rich people parties. But
Good job.
Miss Massachusetts was then threatened about, keeping her current status if you're hanging out with somebody like this Jordan chick.
Well, she came in third in the Miss Maine contest, so I didn't know
Jordan
about status.
did. I mean, no, Miss Massachusetts. The lady threatened her crown.
I get it, but if I'm at least she is.
Holiday told this other lady, if she quote valued her current title, she would think twice about who her friends are. Now, the friend, her last name is Sapini. I forget what her first name is.
What is
it's
it?
a long art. Sapini. Sapini. Sapini.
Okay.
Did not speak, but started to cry in the corner because the conversation was going. It looks like something right out of a reality TV show.
Unbelievable. What the hell is going on with Bill Belichick?
Dude, chasing tail.
I guess. Well, he's doing that, and he must be. If the ex is upset about this, he may have some magical powers.
He's rich.
Well,
he's got a
that
big
too.
bank account
and big other things.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, I don't. But I mean, to have women go after you like that, I mean,
he's rich.
He's rich. Well, it sounds like his girlfriend's rich. The other one that made the fuss.
Linda Holiday?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She's rich.
She's got the power to threaten poor Miss Massachusetts.
Dude, there was even like a report made, which is why it's coming out. And credit TMZ for digging all this up. And I'm sure TMZ will continue to dig up other stuff. But a big old fancy party. Imagine, I don't know anything about this party or Nantucket rich people parties to begin with. But I'm thinking take a fiesta party like the King's Party, one of the more exclusive fiesta parties that only the who's who get to go to. And apparently you can buy tickets to these events because they're charity events. And Jordan bought a ticket. She went. She wanted to go. And then the Instagram photos of, because TMZ does the social media dive, they pulled stuff from her Instagram, all excited to go check out their first whatever Nantucket Christmas party. I don't know. A lot of drama there with those two. Every day there's something.
Bill, the hell's the matter with you? Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
My whole perception of Bill Belichick is out the window.
Because women are fighting for his love and affection and attention?
No, because he's being such a wiener.
What do you mean he's being a wiener?
Well, he is.
Is he?
Yes.
How?
Well, the Hard Knocks thing, first and foremost.
Hey, that wasn't him. That was Jordan.
She embarrassed the hell out of him on 60 Minutes or whatever the hell that CBS show was.
I don't know that he was embarrassed.
Sure he was.
If he was embarrassed, he'd dump her ass.
Well, maybe he just took her home, gave her a good spanking.
For punishment or pleasure?
Well, I'll leave that up to your imagination.
I'm worried about your imagination right now.
I'm just saying. There's all kinds of ways we could go with this.
I mean, it's Belichick. It's daily. It's a distraction, which is the biggest thing that's a surprise because his rule was always don't be a distraction. How is this not a distraction for North Carolina?
Of course it's a distraction. It's horrible. I don't get it. And did you see Whataburger's being sued?
Yeah, this is dumb.
For onions.
Oh, wait, what?
For onions.
Uh-huh.
Putting onions on a burger that wasn't, it'd be kind of like you would sue them for tomatoes.
You know, I'm not a litigious type. I've never sued anybody. But if this guy wins, get me a lawyer on the phone because as many times as there's one particular Whataburger that always puts tomatoes on even when the receipt says no tomato. To the fact that it's the closest one to where I live, I will not go to that particular location.
I know the one you speak of.
It's awful.
I've never had a problem there.
Well, because you like tomatoes. You get extra tomatoes.
I don't, but I don't mind tomatoes, and mine's an easy order. You know, you get a Whataburger all the way.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I could see where this guy is saying, look, he asked for no onions. They say you can get it your way. You get the no onion. And that's what pisses me off at this particular one. It will even have the sticker that says no tomato, yet there is a tomato on there. I get where this guy is coming from, but you don't sue.
Well, he ate said burger, and the onions gave him an allergic reaction.
All right, so he spent a day in the room by himself on his phone.
Hey, it's Whataburger. So I'm just saying, I mean, this guy thinks he's got a shot.
Well, I mean, you saw the lady that got $1 million from Bill Miller's or whatever it was for hot sauce or barbecue sauce that was too hot.
Unbelievable.
I hope he doesn't win.
Well, I hope not either. The lady from Bill Miller won, though.
Yeah, I know it.
That's crazy.
But if you're an attorney looking to, file a suit against Whataburger about tomatoes, if this guy wins, sign me up.
Yeah, they're calling right now. 444-4444.
I don't think that's him.
It's not him?
No.
He doesn't do that?
No, that's personal injury.
Oh, well, wouldn't that be considered personal injury?
Well, that's what this guy is suing for because apparently it caused him pain.
It did. He was hurt. He was injured.
I truly like how Whataburger is defending. This dude's full of crap.
That's when you go in the courtroom, if you're Whataburger's lawyer and say, Judge, really?
I mean, people can sue for anything.
Anything.
Whataburger asserts that he may be malingering and or exaggerating the nature and severity of his alleged injuries to inflate the amount of his alleged damages, Whataburger's attorney said in an official response to the suit. According to my essay, further to the extent he has been or is malingering and or exaggerating the nature and severity of his alleged injuries by continuing treatment to increase the amount of his medical expenses. Whataburger contends that said extended treatment is not medically necessary or reasonable.
What, he needed some Benadryl?
Dude, some Pepto?
Yeah,
I don't know. But as somebody that's allergic to tomatoes, I feel his pain.
Now, what happens to you if you eat a tomato?
3 days in a little room by myself.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Is that little room?
The toilet, yeah.
Porcelain thing in there?
You go through a whole package of dude wipes.
I'm sorry, everybody, that I asked that question.
Well, you want to know. I mean, there's a difference.
I'm really sorry.
When you're allergic to, like Pledge just hates onions. He'll pick them off.
Yeah.
He can eat them. He just chooses not to.
Right.
Yes. But he doesn't turn down free food. So if there's onions on there, he'll work a little harder to enjoy said free food. But it's not going to kill him.
I've noticed that.
He just doesn't like onions.
I got it.
Technically doesn't kill you either.
Huh?
I said it technically doesn't kill you either.
I mean...
So if you ever want a good cleanse, Minix, just go eat a tomato. Oh, my goodness.
I've never needed to lose weight that bad.
Never have. It's I'm sorry I asked that question.
Of all people, Gillespie, who's from the Boston area, and probably fits in with this crowd, said, Jordan doesn't belong in that circle. She's just a kid. Nantucket Stroll is a holiday event.
Oh,
lovely.
How about that?
Yes.
I bet you Gillespie's been there.
I'm sure she has.
To that event.
And probably been thrown out of it.
She's been thrown out of better places than that.
A holiday stroll.
Yes, how nice.
How rich.
How sweet. Isn't it, though?
Is it?
Well, no. Speaking of sweet, Shea Gilgeous is the MVP. And
Shocker.
they just smoked the Timberwolves in Game 1 last night. We got a game tonight. We're going to talk about all of that and more when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I got to tell you about Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing, and I tell you what, I saw somebody there on our YouTube page say, man, it is hot, and it is so early to be this hot. That's true, and you know what? That can do some damage to your roof because summer is just hot in San Antonio and South Texas. Those triple-digit temps, they're no joke. The heat can crack, it can warp, it can even loosen your shingles, leading to leaks, high energy bills, and expensive repairs. You don't want that to happen. That's why you need to call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Locally owned company, family-owned company, and built for South Texas conditions. They know how to play tough in extreme heat. Their experienced team will inspect your roof for free. They'll make sure it's sealed, secure, and energy efficient, so you're protected for the long haul. Look, whether it's a metal roof you want, composition, commercial, residential, doesn't make any difference. Stevens can do it all. Call 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net to schedule that free inspection. Stevens Roofing and Solar, keeping your roof in top shape so you don't get caught off guard when the heat throws its best pitch.
Hey, swing, How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country, it all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry, San Antonio, Texas.
Have you checked out the new Lion and Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there this Friday. Lion and Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's this Friday, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion and Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
The Morning Huddle.
Kurt Miller, the GM of the Dallas Wings, which I don't know if naming your franchise after a feminine product is the best way to do it. I just always assumed it was like they were hoping to get
I don't think that they named themselves after a panty liner, man. I don't think that.
I thought they were trying to get that Maxi Pad sponsorship.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm glad that cat's not in here. Did you finally get rid of that thing?
It keeps coming back.
It keeps coming. I heard
got 9 lives.
I heard AJ this morning talking. He made like 1,000 copies of that picture.
Oh, good. He'll put them up. I'll take it down.
Wow, good. Poor cat.
Oh, yes. What a waste of paper.
Right. Exactly.
We're out of color ink, by the way.
I wonder why.
The memory alive, I guess.
Of what?
Let him go, AJ. You got to let him go. Move on with your life. This is Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. And, that cat. They're still talking about that in the morning. I was tuned in for a little while this morning, and they're talking about that damn cat.
Is he still that broken up about it?
I don't know.
Are we going to have a funeral?
Well, I don't know if he's seen the body, or is he got a coffin, or
would he fit in a coffin?
Well,
Kitty
a cat
Big Balls
coffin.
had, Well,
they probably cut those off. Yeah, I mean, if that was the thing, you cut those off to get him in there.
You're going to have to ask my kid to explain this a little bit closer, because I'm going to try my best. But she will verify, because when we were in Phoenix the other day, last week, and she's coming in this weekend, coming home for the weekend, and I want you to ask her about this dude that we saw that looked like he had scrotums on his ears.
On his ears?
On his ears. The way this dude, whatever he was trying to do. So he walks by. We were in a restaurant. He was working at the restaurant. He walks by, and I'm looking at him. And then she's looking at me, and then we both start laughing. I said, does that look like what I think? She's like, yeah. Then he comes back by. And it literally, whatever he had done to manipulate his ears looked like a scrotum. But two, one on each ear. And I was just thinking, as you were describing that, her pledge was that, AJ could come up with some new earrings. if he's that fond of Kitty Big Balls. I mean, if you're looking for something to do with them, you're talking about cutting them off. I mean, if they were that impressive.
I think that's a great idea.
Which I never noticed because that was just a cat that was always around. I could give a damn about that cat. But, I mean, if that's what AJ was so attracted to with this cat where the size of its nuts and you want to preserve that, he could turn them into earrings like this waiter dude in Phoenix.
Yeah, I think that had to be the attraction, wasn't it?
Well, for AJ, I guess, maybe. I mean, I mean, I assume when his wife gets moved down here, those thoughts might change because, his wife will be in town. But for now.
He's a lonely man. He needs his wife to get here quick.
I mean, I heard him the other day giving advice on hookers, and I'm thinking, man, your wife has been away from you for way too long.
On hookers?
About how to determine, because they were talking about some guy that got busted because it was an undercover cop.
The hooker was an undercover cop?
Well, yeah, that's how they bust guys.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, And he had this whole theory that I thought, you've put way too much thought into this.
Huh.
You ask them if they want to take naked pictures, and no cop's going to be like, yeah, sure, because that's not, what they're trying to bust. That way, when they get to the room, you just change. Oh, never mind. I changed my mind.
Huh. Sick man. That's all I got to say. Are there any psychologists out there somewhere? Oh,
possibly.
AJ, my goodness.
Possibly.
All right. Well, I'm glad the picture's down. It's time to move on, AJ. Time to move on. It's going to be okay. I don't know. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves might be time to move on after what I saw. I know it's one game, and we overreact to that. But what I saw last night, when Oklahoma City turned it on in the second half, Minnesota had no answers for them. None. That defense is just unbelievably solid.
Well, I mean, the defense is solid. When you look at, I mean, SGA getting a ton of credit for what he did last night, but in reality, look at his shooting percentage. It wasn't there, right? But he got to the free throw line, and Ant didn't. There's nothing wrong with getting to the free throw line, even though a lot of people then complain about the game, but that is certainly a part of the game. So, I mean, the second half was just ridiculous when you look at how Oklahoma City dominated, outscoring Minnesota 32-18 in the second quarter and 38-22 in the fourth. What was a good game turned into 114-88. If you were listening yesterday, I was very confident with Oklahoma City in 6.5. When you were like double-digit win, I don't know about that, but even though Oklahoma City is coming off that 7-game series, I like Oklahoma City to cover, and I wasn't expecting that by any stretch.
I took your advice, by the way. Took your advice, although my little app had 7, so I was a little nervous about that. I felt better at 6.5, but it worked out. Look, their defense might be the best of the remaining 4. Honestly, when they turn the defense on, it's very difficult to score against those guys. You hold that Minnesota Timberwolves team to 88 points, that's doing something. Now, I know Ant got hurt and he left the game for a little while, but still, 88 points is impressive. That is good. Anyway, SGA is your MVP this year. That was announced a few minutes ago, and I don't know. He's something special. In Oklahoma City, what's scary about them, Jason, is the fact that they're only going to get better. I mean, you got to figure they've got their foundation, obviously, and they've got a deep team as it is, and they've still got draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going away anytime soon. That is absolutely for sure. Indiana, New York tonight, game 1 of that series at Madison Square Garden. Boy, I really like Indiana, but I've been thinking that New York's going to collapse any minute, and they haven't done it yet.
New York is all fired up. I still like Indiana in this series. Tonight, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if New York won tonight. Just, saw a video earlier. All the streets around the Garden have gotten, street name plates up with all the different players for the New York Knicks. I mean, the city of New York is just going nuts for the success that the Knicks are finally having because they expect to be there all the time. It'll be very interesting to see. Knicks are favored by 4.5 in the game tonight.
I think it's going to be a good series. I'm looking forward to watching that game tonight and seeing where it goes. Again, I'm impressed with the Indiana Pacers. They're an impressive team. There's no question. So looking forward to that. And they wrapped up the Schwenke owners meeting in the NFL today, and they made some changes. And the Lions chickened out. They chickened out. Can you believe that? We'll talk about the owners meetings and the new rules and everything that happened at said owners meeting when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, NBA Eastern Conference Finals Game 1. Who took it, Pacers or Knicks? We'll talk about it.
The Dallas Cowboys are running around the Star. We'll take a look at what we saw from another day of skills trading. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Here in San Antonio in the Hill Country, our water is hard. It's harsh like some accents.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Now that's harsh. At the same time, those that know have a Connecticut quality water softener and enjoy smooth, soft, pure, clean water like this.
Tú eres mi luz en la oscuridad.
Hard, harsh water.
Hey, use with the face.
Soft water.
El amor es como el agua que nunca se seca.
If you don't have a Connecticut water softener, you're basically inviting hard water into your home to beat up your appliances, hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And if you can't live without your coffee maker, hard water damages it too. Call me for a free in-home water evaluation at 656-PURE.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Connecticut is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own.
License number 38961.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Join the Blitz this Friday at the new Lion & Rose, the Dominion location. It's the best happy hour around with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites with free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6. This Friday at the Lion & Rose, located off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Thank you for making Total Wine & More America's #1 online source for spirits, beer, and wine. Better than all those delivery apps. Total Wine's prices are up to 30% lower with super fast delivery and no hidden fees. Order direct at TotalWine.com and pay less today.
Drink responsibly, B21.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Guys, starting TRT has never been easier. Other places charge hundreds of dollars just for the test, but visit any Synergenics or Low T center and get the consultation and test totally free. Treatment is personalized to you, and most major insurances accepted. With the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment, you're in control of your health. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Halsey, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, my dad used to get mad at me, Jason, when I wouldn't go to practice. Didn't want to go to practice. Didn't want to do anything, and I'd rather go, be a knucklehead somewhere.
Yeah.
I could have been making $73 million a year if I'd have just gone to practice. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. $73 million I'm missing out on.
A year.
Because I wanted to be a knucklehead.
Even if you tried, you wouldn't have made that.
You don't think so?
Well, your time in the NBA, if you would have really applied yourself as the short white guy on the court, would not have gotten you $7,300 back then, let alone $73 million. But with the MVP, SGA is Supermax deal when he signs $73 million. That's damn near $1 million a game.
That's incredible. Now, he's eligible this offseason to sign a 4-year, $293 million extension. But if he waits a year, he's up to $380 million, 5-year deal, which is about $73 million per year.
Talk about rich people problems.
Holy cow.
Talk about rich people problems.
In this case, I think I'd be patient. You're talking about $100 million there, just about. Unbelievable. Congrats, SGA, MVP, and rich man.
Not like he's already broke. A couple of quick things on the YouTube chat, and you guys can jump in there on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube chat. Apparently, the cap meant a lot to you guys in the mornings, and it became the morning show mascot. Cool. Keep it in the mornings. Somebody said, AJ said to bash, Antonio Moreno says, AJ said to bash you, Jason, for taking down the picture. You don't even know that I did. I have no idea that I did. So don't assume that it was me. It could have been Pledge, could have been Joe, could have been the cleaning crew.
Might have been me.
Or the boss. You have no idea. Our good friend Marcy Gray said, I just tuned in, think I missed something that I'm glad I missed. I'm not sure, Marcy. I think you could have written a country song about this.
Absolutely.
Could you come up with Marcy? I'm talking directly to you. We need a song about Kitty. What's its name? Kitty Big Balls. Sounds like a country song.
KBB for short.
It
KBB
does.
for short.
KBB.
But at some point, you got to explain what the KBB is.
Kitty Big Balls. I can sit.
I don't think that's how
I'm
it
just
goes.
trying to help you out, Marcy. That's all.
I don't know. And all the things AJ can do is said KBB and his parts.
Yeah, but
Earrings.
see, our mascot in the afternoon is Pledge. So, I mean, that's
the quite opposite of Kitty Big Balls.
Exactly. So, y'all can have the kitty in the morning, and that's great. And
Kitty in the Morning could also be a country song.
Well, that could be.
Who doesn't want to start their day that way?
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Look, now you hate cats, Jason.
I do.
Joshua Jimenez on our YouTube page.
He's a poor eyewitness to anything.
Yes.
I don't know that I admitted to taking down the photo. I just know that at one point, Joe said he was halfway through the show and didn't know it was back there, and then it disappeared.
Well, I didn't even know it was there,
Yes.
and then somebody mentioned it, what's up with the cat? And I turn around, and there's a cat picture where our beautiful logo is supposed to be. And
which, tells me all about the awareness of Joe Reinagel of knowing what's going on around him.
Well, I didn't know what was behind me. I'm looking forward here. Yeah, well, y'all, I would admit to it, Jason. If you did it, do it. I mean, I'll give you a medal.
What's that?
If you took the picture down.
Oh, no, it's just AJ. Well, I did, but I mean, AJ just assumed that I did. He has no idea, right?
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, though, since its name, Kitty Big Balls, meant so much to some of you, that I would like to invite you out on Friday afternoon. We'll be live at the Lion and Rose, where we will pour one out for Kitty Big Balls.
We will?
Sure. I mean, it's $250 drafts. I don't know if you want to waste one, go ahead, but it's only $250 for your drafts.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking ahead, which is more than what AJ spent on the cremation of this cap. But either way, it's the thought that counts.
Sounds to me like AJ just kind of abandoned that cat. Just left him there for them to do whatever they wanted to do with him.
Cat didn't make it. I'm not going to go pick him up.
Exactly. He could have had it stuffed.
I mean, he could have.
Put it here on the desk.
I mean, if he really cared.
He didn't care.
Instead, he prints off 100 color copies, and then we're going to get an email from the boss about, we're using the color printer for things that we don't need to.
I mean, if it's really a mascot, it could be right here next to the Texas A&M helmet. I mean, Kitty Big Ball stuffed right there.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So we'll pour one out. The Lion and Rose.
I'm a little
Friday.
I don't think
the one over at the Dominion.
He didn't really care about it.
I don't think that he did.
I don't think he did.
I mean,
he was jealous of the balls.
It's shtick. That's exactly what it was. But either way, if you come out now, we'll forget that we're doing this on Friday. So just pour one out on your own, but we'll celebrate together.
Yes, we'll celebrate. It's a celebration of life, everybody.
I mean,
and that poor cat had a horrible life.
Would you say a horrible life? It had a horrible ending.
Well, he did.
I mean, it was a feral cat that hung around a radio station.
Every now and then, somebody'd pour some food out there.
What are you writing up there, Pledge?
Every picture that y'all end up taking down every day, or whoever takes it down, save it. Take it out like Friday when you're out at the Lion and Rose out there at the Dominion.
That's too much
and
effort.
give the listeners the picture.
That's too much effort.
No, nobody wants a cat picture.
Yeah.
Especially a dead one.
That you didn't know.
Apparently they love them. I'm just saying, give them an incentive to come see them.
Well, I think AJ's a great salesperson is what I think, and he's got everybody.
It's a bit.
I
mean... we're talking about a feral cat that nobody would bring in their home. AJ claims that he was, and then it got attacked by a coyote, apparently.
Yeah, and as soon as his wife got here, that cat would be back on the porch. I don't know his wife that well, but I'm assuming that's the case.
See, Claymore might have it right. Now, Brittany says he said the cat was one of his kids. Claymore says, poor cat, he got sick of AJ and his singing.
Well, see, Claymore, that's my theory. As soon as that cat heard AJ was coming to get him to adopt him, he said, where's the rope? I can't do that. I think the cat ended his own life because it was an hour, right?
What?
They called him. The cat was fine.
I was on vacation. I don't know. I didn't know he had a station cat.
Well, the cat was fine.
And then all of a sudden, there was all this drama with AJ. I mean, there's more drama with AJ and this cat than Jordan Hudson in the North Carolina football program.
I mean, the cat wasn't fine.
What do you mean the cat wasn't fine?
I mean, it was dragging its leg around. It just got attacked by something.
Well, it was going to be a tripod. They were going to cut his leg off, right? Okay.
So then he was going to have to drag those big things across the pavement.
But they call him and say, okay, he's good. You can adopt him. They approved it. And Cat heard that phone call and said, I'm not doing that.
See, Brittany wants to know what actually happened to the cat. I have no idea. I can tell you what happened to the cat photos. One of them I took down. Threw it away. Actually, no, I saved it. I put it up in Pledge's room. This right over there.
Oh.
Other ones, I have no idea. I think AJ is just making up stuff.
I think so, too.
And Pledge is saying it was a Cody. Did anybody see the Cody attack?
No. The wild
check?
Speculation is it was a coyote. And
could have been a fox. Could have been a cat with bigger stones.
Could have been. It really could have been. Or the stones could have been an impediment to his fighting ability. All the other cat had to do was kick him in those balls. He'd be out for the count.
Have you seen that video on Instagram where there's a couple of donkeys that are walking by and one donkey just kicks the other donkey? And I think the video is like, you think you're having a bad day?
Oh, my goodness. Crazy. I don't know what the hell we were going to talk about here, but
I don't know. Has Marcy Grace come up with a song yet?
You know what?
She called in with a bit of a demo.
I wouldn't be surprised. She came up pretty quick for the Brahmas.
She did.
She'll knock it out.
I mean, all kinds of things that you could write for Kitty Big Balls.
Good gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Can't wait to hear that one.
Uh-huh.
Got faith in you, Marcy.
Yeah, just don't forget the ending.
Is it happy?
No. Cat took his own life. So
sounds like a country song.
Yeah, it does. That'll be a public service announcement to all of this.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Goodness gracious.
And Pledge wants us to give away Cowboy cheerleader tickets. How do you go from that to that, Pledge? What are you thinking?
Kitties.
Big balls.
Footballs. Pom-poms.
Yeah, they're going to be at the Aztec or Majestic Theater, and that's this Sunday, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah, this Sunday, May 25th, at the Majestic Theater. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders on tour. It's a live show and audition, by the way. Now, by audition, does that mean that there are some girls there trying to make the team and they're auditioning? Or can you walk up in a skirt, Jason, and try to audition?
I don't think I qualify. On a variety of levels, I don't think I qualify. This is a well-produced show.
Yes.
Could there be an audition part of it? They have it in there, so yes, somebody is probably trying to get that done. However, tomorrow we will have a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader on that can answer all of those questions for you.
That's true.
Yes.
I can't wait for that.
And for the rest of you, you're going to see the cheerleaders. Do you care
really
about any of the other stuff?
Yeah, you care.
You don't.
Exactly right. So if you want to win those tickets and go see the Cowboys cheerleaders, May 25th, that's this Sunday, all you have to do is be caller, what was Kitty Big Balls, 2?
Stop. Caller 12. Let's go Roger Staubach.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Marcy Grace is giving a little pushback. She says, I will forever be known for that song. Not sure how I feel about that. Marcy Grace, just get it done.
It might be a #1 hit, Marcy. You never know.
At least #2.
Caller number 12, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Good luck. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders on a Sunday afternoon. That's not a bad way to spend a Sunday.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. I'm going to bail out of here if you don't mind. You all right with that?
I'm going to miss you,
I know.
I miss you like Kitty Big Balls.
You put a picture of me up here?
No.
Okay.
And if I did, AJ would throw it away in the morning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're off. Very cool thing that you got invited to go do.
Yeah. Deborah Knapp, who I worked with for 25 years, is her last newscast is today. And I've been invited to go watch that and hang out with her for a little bit. So I'm honored. And I appreciate you, Dax, for allowing me to scoot out of here a little early.
And for people that don't know, in the TV business, to get invited to the studio for the last show, not everybody gets to do that, right? So to get the invite from Deborah Knapp, that's quite an honor. One of those cool things in the TV business, a final newscast is a big deal. For everybody that works there, and then for people that don't, that get invited, it's cool.
I'm very honored to be there. It'll be very cool to be there. And again, I appreciate you and Dax and everybody here.
Go have fun.
Scoot out of here a little early. I will see all of you guys tomorrow.
Bye, Joe.
Bye, Jason.
Have fun. Have fun. Just don't sign a new contract over there. Glad you dressed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike, Cap America, to name a few. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. You need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, dress shirt, you name it, Sam can get it done for you. He's got all the big name brands, over 700 uniform lines to choose from. And Sammy's Embroidery and Printing is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, certainly no order too small. So call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It is 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Have you checked out the new Lion & Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there this Friday. Lion & Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's this Friday, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky 7's AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joe, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Well, it's been announced that the NFL Hard Knocks show will be centered around the Buffalo Bills this training camp, while Hard Knocks in season will feature the NFC East with the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, and Giants this coming December. The NFL owners' meetings have concluded, but there have been a number of changes. One thing that won't change is the tush push. The vote to ban it failed to pass by just 2 votes. The Detroit Lions pulled their playoff reseeding rule proposal off the table due to lack of support, and Kelvin Sampson gets an extension by the University of Houston, a 4-year deal. I'm Joe Reinagel for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I am so glad, Pledge, you recorded one of Joe's Sports Centers. I heard the music and went, I don't have anything ready. And then you hit play. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Reinagel taking the rest of the day off. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Wednesday afternoon. So much to get into here on this day. You can always be a part of the show. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. On Twitter, at Jason Minix, or the old-fashioned way, dial us up, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Coming up at 4:35, the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, Payton Pardee, he will join us, our weekly visit about the Brahmas as they're on the road Friday night this week. Lots of NFL talk and NBA talk. And no surprise, SGA is your NBA MVP. They're going to announce it later tonight, but obviously things like that break make sense. After Game 1 last night, make the announcement tonight. Then before Game 2, he'll get honored. That's kind of how it works, and really no surprise. And you look at the game last night, what Shea was able to do, what Oklahoma City was able to do, especially in the second half where they just flat dominated Minnesota and winning 114-88. Complete domination, but I think a big part of it was just all about the defense that you saw from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Minnesota couldn't get into the paint. They were settling for a lot of outside shots, and they went 15 of 51 from 3. They didn't force their way into the paint. Shea did. A lot of people will point to Shea, scoring 31 points on 27 shots. That's not good. Go back to the days with the Spurs, Bruce Bowen guarding Kobe. Kobe's going to get 30, but how many shots? If he got 30 on 12, 13 shots, Bruce Bowen had a rough night. If he got 30 on 25 shots, Bruce did a hell of a job. Last night, SGA 10 of 27, but he was 11 of 14 from the free throw line. It's the difference in the game, and really was the big difference in the second half. I think you're going to see the same kind of thing tonight with the Indiana-New York series. Going to be physical, probably a little bit low scoring because the defense that's there, but will Jalen Brunson force his way in and work his way to the line? It's going to be a fun night. In fact, you can listen to the game tonight if you're not near a TV here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Tonight's one of those nights, though. NBA is going to be on the small TV. Game one of the Western Conference Finals in hockey. And with Ryan Eagle out, we can talk a little hockey now. And I know there's a lot more Stars fans listening than what a lot of people know. And look, Dallas Stars tonight, game one, in a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals. In the third straight trip for the Stars to get to the Western Conference Finals, they got to win this and then go get a Stanley Cup. I mean, and Dallas should. They're favored in this series. They're the higher seed. Last year they lost here in this round, and obviously, kind of goes that way. But tonight, I'm really looking forward to game one. Although Dallas historically does not play well in game ones for whatever reason. But tonight's a big hockey night. Split screen, whatever, but big TV is going to be on the Dallas Stars. I'm so ready for this game tonight. The excitement level is there. Edmonton, they're good. In the East last night, not a good game one, and Florida, Carolina. Come on, Dallas Stars. In fact, I saw a deal of who's rooting, across the country. Dallas Stars, 24 states rooting and one province rooting for the Stars, 23 states, one province rooting for Carolina to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. It'd be a lot of fun. I know there's baseball on tonight, but it's a hockey basketball kind of night. And that's what's fun this time of year. Even though you're getting to fewer and fewer games, but all the matchups seem so big. And last night, first half of that basketball game was a lot of fun. Second half, no. Last night's hockey game wasn't very good, but that will balance out. You don't expect in this round, when you're in conference finals in both, to have that kind of domination either way. You saw it last night in hockey. You saw it in the second half last night in basketball. And Oklahoma City was on fire. That crowd was into it. They do it right in Oklahoma City. And they're only going to continue to get better when you look at their picks. Pledge sent a tweet, and I just retweeted it, from Bobby Marks. And you think about how long will it be before San Antonio is having that kind of fun, and the moves that you expect them to make. And it's a nice, clean, Excel sheet with all the current salaries, the projections, and dead money. Everything is on there. Now, you got to understand what a lot of this is, but it's one of the more uncomplicated forms to look at to see what kind of money the Spurs have to go spend, knowing that you could make some trades, you could do all kinds of different things, but the different aprons, what that means, those dollars. Very interesting tweet from Bobby Marks from ESPN, who is a former general manager. A clean cap sheet is what he calls it. And then he writes, it helps when your back-to-back Rookie of the Years earn a combined $23 million next year. And it's unlike in the NFL where you feel like you've got to win with your quarterback on a rookie contract, but in some ways, the flexibility before you have to pay these guys. We talked earlier about what the SGA winning MVP is, because that gets you ready for the Supermax. And ultimately, he could end up making $76 million a year. Now, cap is going up, but at what level? And that's, of course, if he waits. I'd be shocked, right? I think we could all say Spurs will pick up the option for Wemby. I'm going out on a limb. Think that's probably going to happen. And when time, they'll do that for Castle. And all these different trade rumors. And I'm glad that a lot of the national media types are getting off of the including Steph Castle into their trade scenarios. I think most of the national media, when you're talking about these different trades, have come to the realization that Castle is off the table. You know, Wemby is off the table, Castle is off the table. All these Giannis trade rumors, you know, initially you saw Castle on there. The ones that I've seen over the last 24, 48 hours, they're not including Steph Castle. Because I think people realize just, yeah, that's part of that's the future. Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, that's the future. Not saying that anybody, Wemby is certainly untradeable. The offer would have to be so incredible, I think, for the Spurs to part ways with the Steph Castle. Seeing what they're going to do in the draft with that number 2 pick and the number 14 pick, depending on what they do, I'd be shocked if they actually took them both, to be honest. They'll be included in the trade. And that number 2 pick, certainly tradable in my mind, depending on what you're getting in return. But, you know, some of these Giannis, and maybe I'm undervaluing a trade for Giannis. You know, if you take the Mikal Bridges trade and you try to apply that to Giannis, I mean, you're not getting 3 or 4 players and four first-round picks. I just don't see the Spurs doing a deal like that, because then you have to incorporate the Giannis salary. What does Milwaukee want? And you can read different things about Milwaukee. Are they going to blow things up, get a bunch of picks, and start over? Or are they trying to rebuild on the fly? Yeah, I don't know that Milwaukee is going to be able to force their way into being greedy here, where they can get players and picks so they're still competitive while rebuilding on the fly, or tear it down to the studs. But again, Giannis is going to be one of those guys that, you know, if that's somebody the Spurs want, they can put together a better package. You know, seeing him do that Twitter Q&A and asked about favorite players, and he mentioned Steph Curry, so obviously you start looking, will he force his way to Golden State? Golden State can't put together a package like San Antonio can. But if that's where Giannis wants to go, that's where he'll end up. Just like De'Aaron Fox forcing his way to San Antonio. And the Spurs didn't give up near as much for De'Aaron Fox as most of us thought that they would have to give up to be able to get him, because the players do have that kind of control. If it's just a bidding process and Milwaukee's going for the best deal, if the Spurs want it, the Spurs could put together the best deal. And I imagine they're kicking the tires on that, because why wouldn't you? It's Giannis. But to me, that's a very short term. And you look at Oklahoma City, you look at what they have, they will get better. Does Giannis, and depending on what you have to give up, give you a team that can knock off Oklahoma City? And that's where I'm a little cautious right now on, I want to be competing for a championship, but at the same time, you can't overspend everything that you have right now if what you're putting together you don't think can knock off and be better than what Oklahoma City is going to be and continues to be. In Oklahoma City, I've seen stuff where they're rumored for Giannis, and they've got some parts and picks that they could put together a package for Giannis if they wanted to. But again, not better than what San Antonio could do. It's going to be very interesting this offseason following, obviously, Giannis is the biggest name that apparently wants to be traded, so everybody will follow that story. But then all the other moves that are going to happen between now and the draft on June 25th. It's going to be fascinating. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. As mentioned, a big night tonight with Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals in hockey. So you need to be at a place that has multiple televisions. You know where that place is? It's the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. They've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. No better place to go watch any big game than at the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. And go hungry. It's Wednesday. That means it's steak night. You get that 12-ounce ribeye, your potato, your salad for $19.95, and that ribeye is fantastic. If you're not thinking steak tonight, you know, they got about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love the fried shrimp. They got the biggest and best wings in town. Great appetizers. Pledge tells me the salads are wonderful, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. Rupab has happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. The Rupab, right next to the Angry Elephant, just down from the Big Blind. They're at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th. Right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Out here, you'll find a community of hardworking creators with loyal followers, along with proud moments worth sharing. And farm to table, well, that's just supper. And whether it's a raised garden bed, acres of land, or something for your animals, we've got all the supplies and are happy to share a little know-how.
Welcome to Tractor Supply. Into life out here.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC, used with permission.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, NBA Eastern Conference Finals Game 1. Who took it, Pacers or Knicks? We'll talk about it.
The Dallas Cowboys are running around the Star. We'll take a look at what we saw from another day of skills training. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. If you're listening online, one of the many apps, appreciate you tuning in. Joe Reinagel took rest of the day off. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on Wednesday. Wow. The Pledge just pointed out, 7 straight years, somebody not from the United States has won NBA MVP. The last American-born MVP in the NBA, James Harden, in the 2017-2018 season. And it won't be long before Wemby starts adding his name to that list, which I, quite frankly, can't wait for, because that means the Spurs are going to be good again. I just got tagged in a photo on Facebook. Guy tags me, Mike Humphreys. This is deep and profound. Keys to the game between the Rockies and the Padres. Score more runs than the Rockies. And then the next key says the Padres are 12-0 when they outscore their opponent. That's actually on a TV screen. There was a producer somewhere that said, that's when you have nothing. And, it's May 20th, May 21st, right? You're a producer for a Major League Baseball team, and it's already May, and you've run out of stuff. You're in for a long year. But, they are undefeated when they outscore their opponents. Do you think they're doing that just to see if anybody's paying attention? Just saying. Payton Pardee will join us coming up in about 10 minutes, talking about teams that haven't outscored anybody, except once. Are they still pledged? Look this up. They've allowed more points than anybody and have scored the fewest. I mean, it's hard to do that in a season, yet they're trying to do that. As far as the NFL is concerned, interesting stuff going on with the Dallas Cowboys, and they're going through their OTAs, it just feels so different when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody always talks about culture. Every organization out there, I don't care what sport you're talking about, I don't care what level. If you're talking about a high school program, every high school coach talks about setting their culture. Everybody talks about it, but everybody does it a little bit differently. Jason Garrett had his culture. Mike McCarthy talked a lot about culture. I don't know why it feels differently here with Brian Schottenheimer changing a culture in Dallas, because he was on the staff with Mike McCarthy. So what really is different? We already can tell just some of the things that Schottenheimer has told us. He seems to be a little bit more open, a little bit more storytelling-like than Mike McCarthy, and certainly the very guarded Jason Garrett. So you feel like when they talk about changing a culture, there's really good examples that you might think, all right, that's kind of cool, but not. But you think about workplaces. Putting a ping pong table back in the locker room might not seem like a big deal, but it is. Think about all the credit like Google got for the things they did, or when Rackspace opened.
Think about your office. If it's just a stale environment, or if you have fun at work, you tend to be a little bit more productive. And it just feels a little bit different. You know, Dak Prescott's been through all of it. And, you know, he talked about, you know, culture, and he talks about it a lot. And yesterday he talked about why it does seem different with Schottenheimer.
Yeah, I mean, I think the approach of how we're building it. I think a lot of times may in the past, I've said it, and I've maybe just been talking, and not just talking or naive in a sense of talking about how great just the offenses was, right? And not necessarily the team, and not necessarily offense connecting with defense, connecting with special teams. So I believe that Shotty's doing it the right way from the top down of take the offense and defense away from it, take the positions away from it, take the coaching and player aspect away from it, and let's connect. And you're talking to one of the most optimistic people I think you'll find. I've seen it the way that it's going. I see the way that people are buying into it, and it's hard for me to think anything different.
Well, and again, he's always optimistic. He's always Mr. Positive. But you've heard Dak Prescott speak enough through the years. The enthusiasm in his voice is one thing, but at the same time, he always says all the right things. But even just if you're listening to what he's saying, talking about guys buying in, the fact that one of the things that it seems like Schottenheimer is doing, now granted it's May, is incorporating the entire team. It's not offense, you guys go over there, defense, you guys go over there, you're a specialist, I don't give a damn what you do, right? Everybody is involved. I saw a video the other day, they were talking about movies for something that DallasCowboys.com was working on, and it was Mike and it was CeeDee Lamb. I think over the last couple years, you might have saw CeeDee Lamb and some other offensive guys, or Micah Parsons and some of the defensive guys, but you didn't see them mixing all that much. And so trying to create that team atmosphere, keep guys in the building longer, like, hey, work's over, I'm out, want to hang out and compete. And there seems to be a lot of competition, not football, but just everything these guys do, they're competing, whether it's putts or free throws, and then calling people out when they don't. It's just not all football-related activities. It's fun, but they are competitive. Very similar to the accolades you hear from Dan Quinn in Washington by taking all the recruits on the 30 visits to Top Golf. What are they doing? When they do that, and you've heard Dan Quinn and that coaching staff talk about it, that we're seeing, one, how they compete, who gravitates towards who's the natural leaders, who just kind of sits off by themselves, and they're judging all that. Seems like Schottenheimer is doing something very similar with the guys that are already in the room. And obviously, you look at the Cowboys, and having a healthy Dak Prescott is certainly there. And Dak Prescott, he can do everything right now but get hit. Well, you know, he's a quarterback. He's not going to get hit anyway. OTAs are non-contact. A lot of people wondered if he'd be limited, and, you know, Dak Prescott says, no, that's not the case.
People say a lot of things about me, man. I just show up and control what I can control, and healthy, trying to stay healthy. Feels good, and, yeah, just trying to push the energy and make sure I continue to get better.
And he's continuing to get better. How's he feel after day one of OTAs?
Pretty much can do it all. Feel good. Yeah, I think I'm just not cleared for contact, which we've got a while for that anyway. So, yeah, I'm out there, and the team activities feel good. Just trying to obviously stay that way. Yeah, feeling great.
Well, and again, he's got to be out there, and it's good that he's out there because obviously he's got a new weapon that he needs to create a chemistry with and develop a relationship with in George Pickens. And Prescott very excited about the addition of one George Pickens.
Huge. Yeah, very huge. I mean, then look at that guy's tape. You see what he does, the kind of receiver that he is. He's going to win the one-on-ones. He can win 2 versus 1 if he has to. Very, very talented guy. When you can add him alongside of CeeDee and the rest of the weapons that we have, I'm super excited.
He's excited. And Pickens is excited to be there. Although the one thing Pickens really needs to do is win a free throw shooting contest with Schottenheimer.
The first day I came up here, we did a little shooting and I beat him. Then the next day, he literally brought me up here only to shoot basketball, and then he beat me. So,
Shotty wanted revenge. Shotty's competitive too. There's not, I'm just going to let you win. It's not like I love it. I mean, everything feels different.
And I will say, and if you guys have listened to this show for any length of time, wasn't overly excited about Brian Schottenheimer getting promoted. I mean, he was a non-play calling offensive coordinator. What the hell does a non-play calling offensive coordinator do? But when you hear him talk and everything that he's doing, you understand why Jerry Jones took the risk. And Jerry Jones even talked about risky decision that he was making by naming Brian Schottenheimer the head coach. I and a whole bunch of other people thought it was the cheapest option, and that felt like a Jerry Jones kind of thing to do. Might be the smartest option. Josh Jimenez on our YouTube page says it's what Pete Carroll did in Seattle. And obviously Schottenheimer was a big part of those teams that Pete Carroll had. And you hear all these different coaches, they all kind of do things the same way. Or the same kind of things, and maybe they do it a different way, what I meant to say. But it's new and it's different. And it's very different than what Mike McCarthy had. And I think a big part of what Schottenheimer's got to do for the fan base to buy in, for more importantly, the players to buy in, is exactly what he's doing. Yeah, I was here, but I wasn't in charge. Now that I'm in charge, this is what we're going to do. He seems very friendly with a lot of these guys, but at the same time, when it's time to coach them up, he'll be able to coach them up. You know, Pete Carroll is a great example. Players coach, but when he had to get on you, he got on you, and there were no issues. That respect level. Everybody knew when it was time to kind of horse around a little bit, when it was time to get to work, and certainly who was in charge. I imagine Payton Pardee kind of going through that some with the San Antonio Brahmas. Goes from special teams coordinator to head coach, interim head coach, in the span of a week. Let's talk about it in their game coming up this week against St. Louis, when the interim head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas joins us here on the Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, if you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. Now, I know we've had some hot days already. If your AC isn't tuned up and ready to go, take advantage of the Lucky Sevens AC tune-up for just $77 that Quartermoon is running right now through the end of May. They call it Hit the Jackpot with Comfort, a 7-point inspection of your AC that keeps your system running cool and smooth, so make sure you get that on the schedule. So scheduled maintenance, emergency situations, one phone number, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Hey, how long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Morning, sir. I stopped you for a seatbelt violation.
But, officer, I was going 2 blocks.
Most crashes happen close to home. Any more excuses?
Okay, I forgot.
Save the excuses and up to $200 in fines. Click it or ticket, day and night. A message from TxDOT.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So, let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Have you checked out the new Lion & Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there this Friday. Lion & Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's this Friday, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion & Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's the San Antonio Brahmas Roundup with interim head coach Payton Pardee on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Tough overtime loss to the Memphis Showboats last week. Let's talk about it here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel took the rest of the day off. I'm Jason Minix, and joined now on the Buyers Barricades guest line is interim head coach Payton Pardee. Coach, at what point did you feel like you had that one, and now are you just snake bit when it comes to getting that win?
You know, that was a tough one. I'm not going to lie. You know, I thought, you know, that was probably one of the crazier games that I'd been a part of, as far as, you know, the ebbs and the flows, and, you know, even some of the mistakes that we made, you know, via turnovers. We were still in that thing at the very end, and, you know, had a touchdown call back to win the game. You know, had another touchdown opportunity, you know, a few plays prior, and, you know, obviously that was a really difficult outcome. But, you know, through it all, you know, the thing that just continues to be encouraging to me and to this football team is I think we're all very much on the same page that if we can eliminate some of those turnovers, we have the opportunities. We just have to capitalize when we get those opportunities.
Well, and you say, I mean, 3 interceptions is obviously hard to overcome for any sport. The fact that you had a chance with those turnovers says a lot about your group. Then the missed field goal. I mean, it's just like do you just sit and watch the tape and say this play, this play, this play, and things would be so differently?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head, and I know I've said in weeks past, and it might sound like, well, yeah, that's obvious, but I mean, the football truly comes down to about 5 or 6 plays a game, and I think obviously, kind of like you mentioned, just the ones that you literally mentioned with the field goal and the touchdown call back and the interceptions. I mean, shoot, right there, you're already at 5 plays, and so I'm. Like I said, that was probably one of the craziest games I've been a part of. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how grateful I am for the fan base. I mean, they show up each and every week, and they were loud and rowdy, and it was great to be back home for that game. And obviously we're disappointed from the loss, but we're really anxious and looking forward to 2 more opportunities. To come out with 2 hopefully conference wins.
Payton Pardee joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Every week you've kind of mentioned no quitting these guys, and that doesn't surprise me. Every time they go out, they're putting on tape. They're either trying to get to the NFL or keep their job in the UFL. Is that the mindset when you look at a team like no hope at the playoffs, but the idea that you've got 2 more opportunities to get paid to go play football?
It's honestly ironic, that you bring that up. 2 things that I'll say kind of, about the situation and circumstance we're in is, one, I've seen a lot of football teams when they're in positions similar to ours, where you're eliminated from playoff contention. No.
Did we lose his audio, Pledge? Hang on, Coach. I see you talking, but we lost your audio there for a minute. It's live radio, and sometimes it's happened. Technology is always wonderful until it doesn't work properly.
You guys got me now?
I got you now.
Awesome. Okay. Sorry, I was saying, I'm so proud of our team. I've seen teams before in similar positions to us, throwing the towel, and then, the performance, decreases. But one of the things I'm most proud of our guys, for is their continued effort, and their continued drive and passion for the game. Obviously this has been a difficult year, but what it's really shown me about, as you mentioned, obviously we have 2 more opportunities. We're all, this is our career, everybody, myself, the players, the other coaches on staff, but additionally, I've been able to use this season, as challenging as it has been, to, kind of reemphasize some points to our players about, football in a lot of ways is about life. And a lot of times in life, we can all have plans and we want it to go a certain way, but when things don't go the way you want them to, or they don't go, quote unquote, according to plan, how you respond in those situations, especially as a man, that is really, really important. And honestly, that's everything at the end of the day. And so, I've been able to use this year, and past couple weeks to kind of talk to our guys about that. And, it comes down to, obviously we're all professionals, and, we have a standard to uphold, and that being we're going to play our hearts out and play with everything we have. But additionally, aside from the career aspect and element, to me, it's about setting a good precedent for how life's going to go for all of us. You know what I mean? Because football is a game that really emphasizes and highlights, things that just happen in life. And with that, it's how do you respond when adversity hits? Or, are you going to have a positive attitude? Or are you going to, the alternative to that would be throwing the towel. And that's where I'm so proud of our football team is, I've seen so much growth and maturity from this bunch, not only from, continued to perform better each and every week, but as well as, their attitude and mindset, after each game and then going into this week, obviously.
So I take it it's been solid this week in practice. Nobody's hanging their head and, just going through the motions, because you're right. I mean, I've seen it. I do a lot of high school football here, broadcasts, and you get towards the end of the year and a team that is out of any playoff contention, and you could tell they're going through the motion. You're not seeing that at your practices?
No, sir, not at all. And that's been one of the neat things. And I'm naturally a positive, optimistic guy, but I'm very, very happy with where we are right now this week. Going into our game on Friday against the Battlehawks, and we had an excellent week of practice, similar to last week. And so I'm really excited. I'm excited to see our guys get another opportunity. I'm excited to see how we're able to respond this week after a difficult, tough loss last week. And I'm ready to spot the ball. I think our guys are ready to go.
Now, as you get ready for the game Friday night, another Friday night game. I'm not sure if you're a fan of Friday games or not, but at least you get your weekend off. But you're getting ready for this when there's two left. Out of curiosity, and one of the comments on our Facebook or our YouTube page is asking, do you play young guys that haven't played a lot to get them out there, or do you go with the starters that you've been going with, or is there a mix of both?
I'll be honest, that's a phenomenal question. And I think for us, we're in my opinion, we're in a really unique position because of where we've been over the past really 3 to 4 weeks, like general roster wise and injury wise. We've had to shake up a lot of things and play, guys at different positions, guys that maybe haven't played as much, they have been playing. And so for us, this week, our mentality is, you'll see some new faces here and there at different spots, but we're, anybody that's going to be active for us and, so to speak, suiting up, if you will, we expect for them to have an opportunity and for them to compete. And really for us, our big focus and emphasis is winning these next two games. Regardless of where we are with the playoff picture, anything like that, it's really important to myself and to this football team that we finish this season out, strong and the right way. And so that's our top priority right now at this moment. But with that, injuries in this league kind of, it provides, in our case, we've had quite a few over the past couple of weeks. It's kind of, I don't want to say forced our hand, but we've had to get creative with how we're, where we're playing guys and things of that nature. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing the guys that we have available this game and what they're able to do.
Is it a balance? Because obviously winning is priority one, but does it become a priority to get a guy more playing time than maybe he has been just because he's been practicing, he's been working hard?
I think, to me, very much case by case. I think there's absolutely a lot of merit to that, and that's where, with us this week, you'll see, I'm a big believer in the work that you put in practice, kind of, I don't want to say dictates, but kind of sets the track for what your game is going to be, so to speak. And so with that, absolutely, I think guys that are deserving of an opportunity absolutely should and will get one. And we're really excited to see, I really believe in our players. For me, it's, I'm excited, not only as the head coach of this football team or interim head coach, but as well as the offensive coordinator, I'm excited to see, what we're able to do with our talent. And kind of like I've said, in weeks past, I'm excited to, try to highlight, different guys and their skill sets and put them in positions where they can be successful.
Now, the game Friday night against the Battlehawks on Fox, I believe, the quarterback position is struggled all year for you guys. I know you started with Kellen, you went to Kevin Hogan, 14 of 25, 90 yards, 3 interceptions last week. There's a third quarterback that's part of the team, or do you go back to Kellen, or who's going to be QB1 on Friday night?
So this week, Kellen Mond's going to be our starting quarterback. Kevin Hogan has he sustained a hand injury towards the end of the game, so he's going to be unavailable for us this week. And so the three QBs that we'll have available are going to be Kellen Mond, JG, Jarrett Guarantano, and then we'll have Alan Bowman as well. And so those will be our three quarterbacks this game, obviously with Kellen getting the start this week.
For Kellen to start the season as the starter, and kind of since he signed was, quote-unquote, the face of the franchise, to get benched, to come back, that tells me that every meeting and every practice he was the same dude.
100%. And that's honestly, I'm really excited to see Kellen play this week, and I think he's going to have a really good game. And, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Obviously, whenever you're at the quarterback position, there's only one on the field. And so whenever you make a decision to go in a different direction, like anything, Kellen, the way he's approached it and his, attitude and attention, to detail in meetings has been truly phenomenal. He's been positive and optimistic, encouraging to the other quarterbacks, while still preparing, as if he were the starter, which is really what you want from all of your quarterbacks. And to be honest with you, from every player on the team, is each individual player needs to prepare as if they're going to get a big opportunity, because you never know when your number is going to be called. And to that end, Kellen has done a great job of his, individual preparation, since the last game that he started in. And I'm really excited to see what he's able to do this week against the Battlehawks.
Payton Pardee, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The other, another local area player, surprised to see Kavion Patton was released yesterday. Can you share some details on that decision?
Yes, what I'll be able to say, unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you as much as I wish I could, but CP, he we had to make a difficult decision as a coaching staff, and he has some personal issues and things that he needs to have some time to address, and so unfortunately that's where I'm gonna have to leave that as far as that situation. But I do want to say how much love and respect that I have for Savion Patton. And for everything that he's done for this football team. I really can't say enough about him, as a player, as a man, and as a person. He has been an absolute joy to coach, and we wish him nothing but the best, in the future.
Peyton, I was out last week. My daughter graduated from Arizona State, so I was out in Phoenix last week when you were on. So I didn't get a chance to ask you this, but I'm curious about the coaching clinic that you went to, hosted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Can you tell me a little bit about that program and what that experience was like?
Absolutely. It was an incredible experience. Earlier in the year, it kind of truly came out of the blue, and it was an opportunity that I feel very, very grateful for. And obviously I made a commitment to do that and under different circumstances. And so, for me, kind of what entailed, with that opportunity is a lot of advanced planning, making sure that, practice and everything, to that nature was, set and prepared before, my departure. And then, the offensive coaching staff, led by Marvin Williams, Jack Welch, Cody Latimer, Jesse Thompson, they did a phenomenal job, in my stead. And then, for me, it was a great opportunity. I had such a blast being down in Tampa Bay, and then in the evenings was having Zoom meetings with the quarterbacks and with the coaching staff, and so I was kind of taking two different hats on and off. But it was definitely a unique experience, and one that I feel very, very blessed and grateful for, and had a really good time out in Tampa.
Well, and like a lot of these players in the UFL, if they get elevated to the NFL, that's the goal. I imagine that's the same for you as a coach, and that looked like an incredible opportunity. You're on the radar, is what they say, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm a big believer in, I always tell people, any job I've ever tried to get and go after, I've never gotten, and the jobs that I'm just whenever I'm focused on where I am and trusting that God has a plan and that He's going to put me where He wants me to be able to help, lead and develop, men, is truly kind of my outlook. And so that was a neat experience, because it was kind of one of the same opportunities that I mentioned prior, as far as, wasn't, didn't know it was going to happen or pan out, but definitely, very grateful that I was able to go out there and experience that. It was a really neat experience.
Payton Pardee, interim head coach, or let's call you head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, here on the Blitz. Now, Coach, I'm always afraid to do something like this because I have no idea why Pledge is going to play this song.
When I get home.
Sing to me.
Now I'm on the lake shore, and I'm sitting in the sun. That is too funny.
All right, so Pledge just tells me in my ear, I'm going to play a song for Coach real quick. I had no idea. What's the background there?
So I'll give you the context as I'm hopping on the call to get set up for this segment, I was kind of like mumbling to myself, and I was like, you know what? Have you ever heard "I'm Gonna Miss Her" by Brad Paisley? And he was like, oh yeah, it's a great song. I was like, I don't know why, but it's stuck in my head right now. And so we had a funny conversation about that.
That's been in your head all day?
To be honest with you, I'm walking by our director of football operations, and he was singing a song that was very, very close lyrically to that song. And so I don't know if I'm missing my fiance or what the situation is, but no, I was listening to him, and I was like, you know what? Then that song, "I'm Gonna Miss Her," just popped in my head, and it's a good song.
Is she in Dallas or back home?
So she actually she's out in Brownwood, Texas right now.
All right. Yeah, you're going to have to send her this clip, baby. I'm thinking about you.
No doubt. No doubt.
Need to see you. I get it. And you get your weekend off, right? Friday night game, so weekend off?
Absolutely, yeah. And for us, this is kind of circling back to a comment you made earlier. I personally, I really enjoy the Friday games, and to be honest with you, I enjoy all the games, but the Friday games are unique because the schedule's accelerated, so to speak. Obviously, we have the same amount of time to prepare, but I think it's a really nice wrinkle. I myself was a part of the Legacy XFL in 23. When we were able to play, I think 1 or 2 Thursday night games. I think it adds a really nice change of pace. And then obviously this week, we will get some time on the weekend because we're going into a long week, so to speak, kind of like a mini bye week with our next game being the following Sunday. So yeah, this will be one of the very few first weekend I've had free in a few, I guess more than a few weeks.
Well, get a nice cold beverage, some country music, and I think you'll have a good weekend after you get a win in St. Louis and get ready for the season finale next Sunday in at the Alamo Dome with an 11 a.m. start.
Absolutely. That sounds like a great plan to me.
Sing us to break, Coach.
Sitting in the sun. Oh, it's just got such a catchy ring to it.
Mm-hmm. Coach, always appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
No doubt. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it. Payton Pardee, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas, here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. Always good stuff with Payton Pardee. I see Alexander on YouTube. Sounds like a great person, such an inspirational, positive person. Very true. He is. He is, and he's 28 years old. And the fact that he's head coaching now and that deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get invited to that, incredible. He'll be in the NFL. Jack Pardee's grandson. At one point, Jack Pardee was the youngest coach in the NFL. Wouldn't be surprised, ultimately, if Payton Pardee has a very similar title. He's on that fast track and just a good dude that needs to see his girlfriend. That is for sure. Lots of news in the NFL today. Stop pledge. Lots of news in the NFL today from the owners' meetings. The tush push stays alive. We'll talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Blitz. 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com.
Let me tell you about my friends at Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. I love mine. Had it in the house now for some time, but I noticed the difference right away. I was really skeptical. I really thought that, how could it be that much better than anything else I've ever had? But it is, and it is head and shoulders better than anything else I've ever had. Connecticut has been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. All their products are made in America, and what I love about it is you don't plug it in. It runs on that kinetic energy. Whatever it runs on, it provides great soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now, for a limited time, they're going to give you a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they will install right at your kitchen sink. It's like bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. Also going to give you $400 of your trade-in of your old water softener. And how about some free money? 0% interest for 12 months. 0% interest for 12 months. It is a great deal. You know it's not going to last too long. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Join the Blitz this Friday at the new Lion & Rose, the Dominion location. It's the best happy hour around with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites with free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6. This Friday at the Lion & Rose, located off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pockets. You can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Tonight, the Eastern Conference Finals get underway. The New York Knicks play host to the Indiana Pacers for Game 1 from Madison Square Garden. You can catch all the action on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 6:30 with the pregame show. Well, it's been announced that the NFL Hard Knocks show will be centered around the Buffalo Bills this training camp, while Hard Knocks in season will feature the NFC East with the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, and Giants this coming December. The NFL owners' meetings have concluded, but there have been a number of changes. One thing that won't change is the tush push. The vote to ban it failed to pass by just 2 votes. I'm Joe Reinagle for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
4 years, $48.7 million, fully guaranteed. Cameron Ward has officially signed his deal with the Tennessee Titans. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minix. Joe Reinagle playing hooky for the rest of the day. He's in his old stomping grounds over at Ken's TV for Deborah Knapp's final newscast as she is anchoring the 5 o'clock news for the final time before she heads off into retirement after 48 years in the TV business. Glad to have you along on this Wednesday afternoon. I saw it on Twitter earlier, but I'm seeing it on Cam Ward's dad's Facebook now, and he just writes officially a Titan and has some cool photos. $48.7 million fully guaranteed. It's fantastic. Good for Cam. I mean, no surprise he was going to sign, but as you're seeing a lot of the first-round picks getting their deals done, Cameron Ward, career that started at the University of Incarnate Word. Very cool. Very excited for him. I use the term hooky because that's what Reinagle is doing today. He was here earlier and then he left. In a cool honor to go be a part of that broadcast. But we need ditch work keywords, right, Pledge? So how about hooky? Joe's playing hooky today. Pledge is going to play hooky tomorrow. You could play hooky next Friday and join us in Arlington for the Texas Rangers St. Louis Cardinals game there at Globe Life Field. So between now and 6 o'clock, when we ask for the key word, which is hooky, if you can go to Arlington. So if you, Pledge is breaking things in the other room. If you can't go to Arlington, and you don't want to go to a baseball game next Friday, don't try to win the tickets. I know there's people out there that anytime they get a chance to win something, you do. And then you're like, oh, I don't want that. And, can you give it to somebody else or whatever? If you can't go to Arlington, don't even try to win. But if you can go to Arlington and you want to go to the game next week, hooky will be the key word that we will ask for between now and 6 o'clock. So, stay tuned for your chance to win if you can go to Arlington. As mentioned, Cam Ward getting his deal done again. No surprise. There's, holdout. Fully guaranteed, though. That's big time. The NFL does do a lot of business today. The owner meetings have wrapped up. One of the biggest stories of the day really centered around the tush push. And it felt like it was going to get banned. Like all the stories leading up to the NFL wanted it banned, and a lot of times when the NFL wants something like flag football, they get what they want. The tush push survives. It will live another year. The Eagles tweeted out a photo. Great photo. Says push on, has the Eagles logo, kind of like those cool Nike ads. And it's the Eagles against the Green Bay Packers. I mean, that is birds up, if you will. That's double peace signs from Philadelphia because it was the Green Bay Packers who put it on the deal to try to get it banned. It survived by 2 votes. The vote was 22-10. They need 24 votes in order for the ban to happen. Now, Jerry Jones didn't want to say which way he voted, but we've done math, and we know that the Cowboys voted to ban the tush push.
And here we are, the world champion is the main focus of the tush push. And here we are debating it and having to decide, well, Well, I'm really against the tush push or just don't want Philadelphia to have an edge. I sit there and fight that, too.
Which one do you think it is?
When they're making a presentation.
Which one is it for you?
I don't know. I'll flip-flop.
And obviously now, because, I mean, there's been some reports of the 10 teams that voted to save it, and the Cowboys aren't on there. So you know which way the Cowboys voted. What I find interesting is the NFL didn't table this. You know, they did it the last meeting, and so they must have felt like there was enough votes there if they wanted it. You know, kind of like the Lions withdrawing their proposal to change playoff seating. They knew there were no votes there. It wasn't going to happen, so why waste our time? With this one, it almost feels like they might have thought they were going to get the votes needed because it felt like the NFL wanted it. Jason Kelce comes in, saves the day, apparently gave a great speech about how the mechanics of it works, which I find interesting. Because if you're the Eagles, do you really want to tell everybody how it works and how it's really not that dangerous of a play? Because you had the NFL, the competition committee, the health and safety committee, even though there's no data on injuries because of this, but it just felt like everything they were doing was to set up to get passed. And they were 2 votes shy. But if you're the Eagles, do you really want Jason Kelce in there explaining how it works? Somebody had to be taking notes, right? Now more people are going to be better at it. You still can't stop Philadelphia from doing it. That's the crazy thing. You still can't stop Philadelphia from doing this. But apparently Jason Kelce gave one hell of a speech, but it was 2 votes shy, which tells me next year it's going to be back on there and probably will get those other 2 votes.
I mean, I don't think they're concerned with divulging how it works because other teams in the NFL don't have a quarterback that squats 800 pounds. I mean, that's part of the mechanics of it.
I mean, incredible leg strength is there, but getting lower and getting that surge, that's what you're doing. You know, it's funny because you look at a Jalen Hurts, does he need the push from behind? Probably not, because he's got that leg strength. We've seen other teams. Now, granted, Buffalo comes to mind a lot with the example when they used a small running back. Maybe he could bench press a lot, but if you get stopped initially, that extra push from behind just pushes everybody else forward, but you almost wonder how much it's needed. You know, on ESPN right now, they're showing a bunch of videos, and really, you know, on some of these, I mean, Jalen Hurts is getting there without really any kind of assist. The guy that's backing him up doesn't get there fast enough. It is very, very interesting because most teams can't do it. Then you look at others, well, they could do it, but they don't do it right. That's why I say I wonder if having Jason Kelce explain in detail the mechanics and saying it's not all that safe, even though we did hear him bitch about as much as he loved the play, he hated to play because of the thousands of pounds of man that would be on top of him with him at the bottom of those piles. I don't know. Fails by 2 votes. Congrats. The Eagles win again. Say that. I don't know. It's one of those things. The owners did pass a rule that will allow an onside kick to happen at any point when you are trailing, which I like. The idea of an onside kick, though, has changed forever with the new kickoff rules because there is no surprise element to it. You know, the last great surprise onside kick happened in the Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints. You know, now you kind of know it's still such a low percentage play. I really wish they would go to something a little bit more efficient, or I don't know. I don't even know if it's more efficient. The spring leagues do the 4th and 12 or 4th and 15 play. It's got the same percentage of success basically as an onside kick, but at least you feel like you have a chance. Then more so than an onside kick where you got the same number of people, and all that's going to happen is all these kickers are going to have to figure out a new way to kick the ball to get some sort of weird spin or big hop and pray and hope. But at least now, anytime you're trailing, you can say onside kick if you're willing to roll the dice. But surprise onside kick, those are out the window.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Cowboys going through OTAs. Dak, new receiver George Pickens talked. So did CeeDee Lamb. Had a lot of interesting things to say. Plus, we've got some ACL wristband qualifiers that we're going to do here coming up in the next 20 minutes. On the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We do have Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. There's some WNBA action. You want to watch hockey. The Dallas Stars play tonight. And watching games are a lot more fun when you could win money, because we all like extra cash, right? We all have sports knowledge you want to put to use. Underdog is an app you need to download, the leading place to make all your sports picks, and makes watching games a lot more fun. Millions have won, billions already. Underdog has over 100,000 five-star reviews, and what you're doing is looking at predicted stats and deciding higher or lower to build your pick-em entry. Easy to do. You could play for as little as $1. You could win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app. Use my promo code STAR when you sign up to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey,
How long has it been since you ditched work for something actually worth it? Emails can wait. Zoom meetings? Forget about them. Skip the 9 to 5 for 9 innings. We're sending you to the ballpark instead. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is giving away pairs of tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the St. Louis Cardinals Friday, May 30th at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Listen to the Blitz all this week. Jason and Joe will drop a ditch phrase during the show every day. When you hear it, be the first caller at 646-ESPN and win the tickets. And maybe don't mention it to your boss. Hey, you're not playing hooky. Bueller. You're honoring America's pastime. Ditch work for the Diamond with South Texas home for the Texas Rangers. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyerforus.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
The Morning Huddle.
I also like George Clooney in general. Probably the most handsome man I could think of.
I think he smells of cinnamon spice.
I was once asked by a...
Not cologne, cinnamon and
leather.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, apps, website, however you're listening. Appreciate you tuning in on this Hump Day Wednesday. I'm Jason Minix. Joe Reinagel, he's playing hooky today. Over at Ken's for Deborah Knapp's final broadcast. And I don't want to say this with Joe not sitting here, but we talked about this earlier before he ducked out early. And if you've listened any time over the last several months, you realize Joe has had serious questions about Dak Prescott and his leg. And honestly, I think Joe does believe, or did believe, that Dak Prescott might not ever walk normal again, that his leg might need to be amputated, that Dak might need a cane or a scooter or something. And in all seriousness, I mean, I'm half joking and half not. He didn't tear his Achilles, that you know what that injury can be like. He didn't tear an ACL where you know what, his hamstring came off the bone and they reattached it. Every doctor that we talked to right after that surgery said a couple of months and he should be stronger because everything was repaired. In some ways, being ripped completely off the bone was better than if it was just trying to heal naturally. And it's funny because Joe's not alone in thinking that. In fact, Dak Prescott talked about that after the OTA practice yesterday, thinking, I don't know why people thought I'd be so damn limited.
People say a lot of things about me, man. I just show up and control what I can control and healthy, trying to stay healthy. Feels good. And, yeah, just trying to push the energy and make sure I continue to get better.
And that's how he is. Goes through a full practice. He's been cleared for everything but contact. Well, you know what? It's OTAs. There's no contact. He's also a quarterback. There's never contact in practice when it comes to a quarterback. But he did say leg and everything else feeling fine after practice 1.
Pretty much can do it all. Feel good. Yeah, I think I'm just not cleared for contact, which we've got a while for that anyway. So, yeah, I'm out there, and the team activities feel good. Just trying to obviously stay that way. Yeah, feeling great.
Yeah, and again, he's feeling good, and I think a big part of that is he even says he's further along in his rehab than expected.
Am I behind? No.
How did you catch up?
Just, left the season early. I was hurt. Like, excuse me. Like, my off season started way earlier, so that's sorry. Yeah, sorry for the language, but yeah, my off season started way earlier, so that's really essentially why I'm ahead. On top of working with Britt, working with this training staff, and Luke.
Well, and that's it. I mean that makes sense, right? Because of his injury and the surgery that he had, he got a head start on some of that. So he feels like he's ahead, not only with his normal offseason, but everything else. Now, he's got to get on the same page with his new weapon. The addition of Pickens is big. And you think about the dynamic receiver that George Pickens can be. Dak Prescott very excited about what he can offer.
Huge. Yeah, very huge. I mean, then look at that guy's tape. You see what he does, the kind of receiver that he is. He's going to win the one-on-ones. He can win 2 versus 1 if he has to. Very, very talented guy. When you can add him alongside of CeeDee and the rest of the weapons that we have, I'm super excited.
And he mentioned CeeDee. Now, you think about how bad everything was for the Cowboys last year. Even before the injury, that offense never got to the point that everybody expected it to be at. And a big part of that was CeeDee last year held out, trying to get his new deal. He's here now. He's at camp. He's at practice, and that makes his quarterback very happy.
Yeah, that's huge. That's something that hard to even compare the two because they're so different. Just having him here in OTAs, being able to work with him, getting that extra work in, and understanding, that he's going to be here. I think that's huge. And then you bring in a guy like GP. We're getting ready for game 1 now with the guys here.
And you look at that. Now, we know with Pickens, his history. Now, he's got 0 history with the Dallas Cowboys, but personalities don't change overnight. We know that he's had plenty of sideline explosions. Most diva wide receivers have. Dak Prescott has to keep 2 number 1 receivers now very, very happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think having a conversation with them up front, maybe there are going to be some games and maybe one or the other, it's tough, right? And that's the beauty of having you 2 guys is I don't know if it'll ever be tough for both of you. But in that instance, those are 2 unselfish guys, and truly they want to win. And when you're not winning and you're not getting the ball, trust me, I understand the frustration. So I'm never going to be mad at them for frustrating about wanting to win and wanting the ball. So it's the communication, it's the relationship that we're building and we'll continue to build, whether it's amongst me and GP or CeeDee.
And you look at it and you go, all right, well, I mean, with this Cowboys offense, better offensive line, expected to be better offensive line, a George Pickens, Jake Ferguson returning back to form, so you're getting good tight end play, good running back play, and I say good, hard to be worse than last year. And so at least some sort of actual run game threat, if you will. This is a Cowboy team that should be able to score a ton of points. And it's interesting because now all of a sudden, because the Cowboys offense seems to be rebuilt back in a spot where they should be explosive and could score a ton of points. And We've seen this before with the Dallas Cowboys where they could score 30 a game and still lose because the defense is bad. Well, Dan Orlovsky on ESPN, he is concerned now that it's not about the Cowboys offense anymore. Is the Cowboys defense, especially the front 7, big enough to stop modern-day NFL offenses?
The Dallas front 7 weighs, okay? We go 260, 280, 245, 220, 240, 320. There's one person over like 280. When I'm playing Philly.
I'm thinking of Jeff Stoutland's offensive line right now.
Yeah, when I'm thinking Matt LaFleur running the football, I'm thinking what Chicago has done with their offense. So I know that we talk about Dallas and offense and George. I'm going to be very interested to see The annual question about this Cowboys defense. Are you big enough to handle the modern day offense in the NFL? Because it's back to being what it was in the early 2000s.
Now maybe. Now again, they had a stretch last year. They had trouble stopping the run. All right, they did. They allowed over 175 rush yards in 6 games. They lost all of those. Not a surprise. What will Eberflus's defense look like? Be different? Micah Parsons saw that clip of Dan Orlovsky and quote tweeted and said, I'm going to paraphrase, I'm not going to read it exactly. You can go find it on Micah Parsons' Twitter. Not going to lie, not thinking about that run when you have a healthy Dak, CeeDee, and GP. My rookie year with Coop, we averaged 30 points a game with a fluid run game. We'll be all right. So you think about what Micah Parsons is insinuating there. With an offense that can score, teams won't get big leads and then run the ball to milk the clock, knowing that Cooper Rush is going to go 3 and out. So what I believe Micah is saying in this tweet is they got off to some bad starts, both offensively and defensively last year in a hole, and teams ran all over them. Because when you have a big lead, what do? You run the ball. Then you wear out those smaller defensive linemen, and then you're able to tack on even more yards late. All of us have watched enough football to understand what that is. So if you're just going to pull stats like ESPN did and say, yeah, they were 0-6 in games where they allowed over 175 yards rushing. Yeah, no bleep, right? But at the same time, what was the reason for that? With no threat of an offense, teams could get that lead and then win time of possession by keeping the ball on the ground, wear them out, and yeah, they were going to struggle. And you go back and you look at Micah's rookie year, and he's right. They weren't good against the run then, but teams didn't run the ball as much because they were trying to keep up offensively with the passing game because the Cowboys were scoring at a high clip. That makes and both can be true. Yeah, Cowboys are going to be bad against the run, but teams won't be as focused on running the ball if this Dak Prescott offense is scoring points at the level they're expected to now that they have a CD and a GP. And do we have a 2 initial nickname for a running back? I mean, all of them are in there, right? So it's going to be fascinating to see what this Cowboys team does, because the biggest question marks are on the defensive side of the ball this year. I find that interesting because last year it was all about the offense, and we just, in the media and fans, ignored the holes on the defensive side. Well, the Cowboys fixed those holes on the offensive side. There's the questions are on the defensive side. They weren't there last year, but they weren't very good last year defensively, but they also didn't get the help from the offense. Team sport. Offense does their part. That helps the defense. You go back to Mike McCarthy. He wasn't mad that Kellen Moore didn't run the ball enough. He was mad about when Kellen Moore decided to not run the ball. When you have a lead, run the ball, milk the clock. Kellen didn't do that enough, and the Cowboys lost some games late. That's where Mike McCarthy had issues, it seems like, with Kellen Moore when Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator. Because I remember the conversations we had going, dude, Mike, you said you were going to run the ball more. And Mike didn't say this, but could have said, did you see what Jerry gave me to hand the ball to? I'm better off throwing. But in reality, it's when you run the ball. You know, you look at all these other teams when they decide to run the ball. And I think Micah is right. When you're scoring that many points, teams can't stay that committed to the run game to milk the clock if they're worried that the Cowboys could have a quick strike offense and get right back in the game. The yin and the yang, it is fascinating because Micah's not wrong, neither is Dan Orlovsky. But it's the way everything is going to play out. You talk about dominant run games. Look at your Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. You know, Jalen Hurts on that Pro Football Focus list is now number 6, right? He was number 6 on the list yesterday that Pro Football Focus put out there. He was never considered the elite quarterback before that.
What did he have last year? Saquon Barkley. Now, when Philadelphia was struggling last year, or the year before that when they had that late season collapse, all the issues were blamed on Jalen Hurts in the passing game. Last year when they were struggling, there was a point last year when A.J. Brown literally said, when asked what was wrong with the offense, he said the passing game. But last year, the Eagles had a running game. And this year, Jalen Hurts is ranked number 6 on the quarterback rankings. Does that make sense? I mean, but it's complimentary football. And when they had to throw the ball, I mean, Jalen Hurts played great in, was it the NFC Championship game? He played great. In that game against the second round game, not so much. That was a Saquon game. But now Jalen Hurts is number. Why? And I'm not picking on Jalen Hurts here. I'm not trying to get sidetracked, but the importance of that run game. It's certainly there. You have to have it all. And then that changes things. Now all of a sudden, ESPN is in Dan Orlovsky and the NFL show, man, the Cowboys, they're going to be good again offensively. Oh, wait a minute, man. Their defense, are they going to stop anybody? And, that's fair. But I do agree with Micah Parsons on what he came back with. Go back to my rookie year. We weren't good against the run then either, but people weren't able to stay committed to it because our offense was putting up 30 points a game. And again, the pressure goes squarely back onto Dak Prescott. He's got to perform at a high level. He's got to perform at a high level in the postseason to get the narratives changing, which he has yet to do in his NFL career. He's been a great regular season quarterback. Dude has sucked in the postseason. In big games, hasn't been there. And then you find out today, Hard Knocks, the summer one, training camp one, is going to be the Buffalo Bills. Cool. The in-season Hard Knocks is the NFC East. Well, and HBO and NFL Films, they picked the right division. Because when you look at Jaden Daniels and what's happening with Dan Quinn and everybody up there in Washington, you look at the Eagles and what they've done, you've got the Cowboys, and then for the comedy, you get another inside look at how the Giants are run. Great choice there. Great choice by NFL Films and HBO. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Let's get somebody qualified for ACL Weekend 2 Festival tickets. 3-day wristbands for Weekend 2 of ACL up there at Zelko Park in Austin. 9 stages, 2 weekends, October 3rd through the 5th, and then again the 10th through the 12th. And we're getting people registered now to win wristbands to Weekend 2. Now, whoever gets registered today, on Friday, you will have a 20% chance of winning these wristbands, but you have a 100% chance right now of getting a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom there in Stone Oak, near 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. I haven't even given a number yet, and every line is full. Talking about Micah Parsons, caller 11. The gift card is yours, and you will be qualified for ACL Festival Weekend 2 wristbands. Pledge, you're a... By the way, everybody that was calling that just got hung up on, that was James Pledger just zeroing out the lines.
Hey, you hadn't given out a number.
I mean, none of those people were going to win anyway. Because we're going caller 11. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 11, you're going to be qualified to win those 3-day ACL Weekend 2 wristbands and win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom in the process. Caller 11, you'll be registered.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, NBA Eastern Conference Finals Game 1. Who took it, Pacers or Knicks? We'll talk about it.
The Dallas Cowboys are running around the Star. We'll take a look at what we saw from another day of skills training. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Have you checked out the new Lion and Rose Dominion location? Well, join the Blitz out there this Friday. Lion and Rose has the best 7 days a week happy hour around, starting with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites. We have free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6 with your chance at Brahmas and Renegades tickets, gift cards, and more. Come check out this awesome new space for all your sports viewing needs. It's this Friday, starting at 2 o'clock at Lion and Rose Dominion, located just off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Join the Blitz this Friday at the new Lion and Rose, the Dominion location. It's the best happy hour around with $2.50 drafts, $5 wines and wells, and a list of $5 bites with free giveaways every hour from 2 to 6. This Friday at the Lion and Rose, located off I-10 at the Dominion exit.
We had so much fun last week, we're doing it again. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up once more to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends. More big-time artists than at Texas Tailgate during rodeo season. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th, right up the road in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Fade, and a whole mess of other artists turned up Zilker Park into the biggest backyard party in Texas. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz all this week for another shot to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We'll crown one lucky winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, that's a South Texas trifecta. Grand Slam in the bottom of the 9th. Want to skip the contest and buy your way in? Head to aclfest.com. But we say, why pay when you can win? With 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Keep in mind, everywhere you go, you are on camera. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagel, he'll be back tomorrow at 2. I'm Jason Minix. James Pledger producing. He's actually taking tomorrow off. You're going to play golf tomorrow, right?
I am.
All right. I know you've got clubs. In fact, you just had a putter regripped you're very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
You going to fix your microphone before your show? What the hell's going on over there?
Yeah, screws.
Your screw's loose?
My screw's loose. Go figure.
I mean, but at least your microphone part you can fix.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just going to go swap this out with the old studio one.
Okay.
Get a better screw.
Goal in life. Fix that before your show, because otherwise you're screwed. I mean, honestly, you guys have no idea what Pledge is doing over there right now. I don't know. Anyway, I know you're going to play golf. I'm sorry, distracted by Pledge and his dangling microphone. And him. Hey, let's paint the visual. Your microphone is dangling, and you're maneuvering your face around so you can talk into said dangling microphone. It's not a good look, man. It's not.
I'm freehanding this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. This is not a good look. And because it's swinging, you're trying to keep up with it. I mean, everything everybody's visualizing right now is 100% accurate.
There's a lot of movement going on.
There's so much going on over there. This is, I'm just going to have to do this. Holding papers up. There needs to be some blinds I could close there. It feels like you need some privacy. I don't know what's going on over there. Anyway, as I was saying, everywhere you go is on camera, except for James Pledger right now, which I think most of you guys would appreciate, although I'm sure a lot of you would love to see what I just saw. But on OnlyFans, that would cost you a lot of money. We talked about this a while ago. You know, a lot of people have been doing the whole dine and dash, and restaurants are putting them out on social media. Then our buddies over at Golf Club of Texas, somebody literally stole a mannequin, fully dressed mannequin. So, you know, the shirt, the pants, the non-white belt, everything that was on the mannequin. I forgot what they named the mannequin, but ultimately, person was called out, and the mannequin and everything that it was wearing came back to the Golf Club of Texas. Because it works when you put people on blast. The Alamo City Golf Trail has done just that. Over at Riverside Golf Course, somebody yesterday, a dude who with his credit card identified himself as Xander Garcia, according to my essay. And some woman, they rented golf clubs, said to be worth $3,000. And they took them. Callaway drivers, irons, wedge, Odyssey putter, the Callaway bag. Renting clubs usually cost $36 for 18 holes and $20 if you're just playing 9. And I will say over at Riverside, they might have some of the best cameras you've ever seen, because there are clear pictures of this couple that they have posted on their Facebook page and other social media and picked up by MySA. And the dude looks like a golfer. In fact, he's wearing a shirt with a golf club down near Houston. And because your credit card's on file, they kind of know his name, but they're starting to wonder now if that's actually his credit card. You leave your credit card as collateral. Well, the guy left his credit card, but it might not be his. So now the golf course says they're going to hold your credit card and your driver's license, and the names have to match going forward because, obviously, run the credit card and it's not there. Golf club is Cinco Ranch. You ever played that one, Pledge?
In Katy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have. Great course.
Yeah. This guy's got a shirt from down there. And like I said, if you see this on my SA or the Alamo City Golf Trails social media pages, should be able to identify the same part. If he's from Houston, was just renting clubs. The SUV they were driving, they couldn't pull a license plate, which is a little surprising. But find this dude and get their golf clubs back. Because Alamo City Golf Trail is, nonprofit, great organization. But don't steal. And you're on camera. Pledge tomorrow, especially where you're going. There's cameras everywhere.
I'm just hoping they let me in.
Well, what do you mean you're hoping they're going to let you in? Somebody is getting you in there.
Well, somebody's going to give them my name, but they're going to see me at the gate.
You can't dress like you are today.
Well, not
there.
Not like this.
Tomorrow you're going to actually have to dress nice. Your sleeveless hoodie thing you're not going to be able to wear.
I know.
You're going to have an actual golf shirt on, tucked in. You're going to probably have to wear pants where you're going.
Yeah.
It's
no
fancy,
livers
fancy.
there.
No, it's fancy. It's Cordier Ranch.
Although the livers could afford to play there.
Oh, they could. And when you got enough money, you can wear what you want. You don't, so you're going to have to wear slacks. You're going to have to actually look like you're going to work there, not actually going to play.
Mm-hmm.
You got the invite from Cordillera Ranch, so you get to go.
I might have to get a haircut before, too.
Let's not get ridiculous. But you're going to have to wear a better hat than what you normally wear on a golf course.
Fair.
And I say that.
Blink hat's not going to cut it.
Your blink hat might cut it. You're right. You're going to have to, probably because it's Cordillera Ranch fancy.
Yeah.
You're going to have some high-end golf apparel.
Like my Mizuno hat?
I don't know if that's high-end enough.
Mm.
It's rich people golf that you're playing tomorrow.
Yeah. Well,
and the fact
Mizuno's
it's
rich people clubs.
Well, but again, though, out there, I don't know.
Titleist? I got an old Titleist hat.
Was it dirty?
No, it's rarely worn. Got it because it matches the driver and the balls I use.
Oh, good Lord.
Got to coordinate.
You still haven't fixed your microphone.
No, I got to run to the other studio to get something.
Dude, you got to stop talking.
Screw. I'm screwed.
You've lost one, which is no surprise. So you're playing hooky tomorrow.
I am playing hooky tomorrow.
Ryan Eagle's playing hooky today. Rangers Cardinals next Friday. You could play with us up there in Arlington if you know the key word. We talked about it earlier. Which caller do we want to go with? Caller 5 that knows the key word?
Yeah, Corey Seager's a good number.
Yeah. All right. And again, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 5. But if you can't go to Arlington next Friday, don't try to win them. We want to make sure whoever's winning these tickets can actually go watch the Rangers and Cardinals play next Friday up in Arlington at Globe Life Field. Caller 5, if you know what that key word is. And I should have done more just because watching Pledge try to answer the phones and talk into his dangling microphone is just comical. Comical might not be the right word. Not even close. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals coming up tonight. A game you can listen to here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Coverage starting at 6:30. Pacers and Knicks. The Knicks are a 4.5-point favorite. The over-under is at 221.5. I like the Pacers to win this series, but I do think the New York Knicks will take Game 1 tonight. Just the city is on fire. The excitement level in New York, because it's been so long since the Knicks have been in this position hosting an Eastern Conference Finals game. Like I said, I think the Pacers ultimately win the series and will go to the NBA Finals to take on Oklahoma City. but I do like the idea of the Knicks winning tonight. And you look at it, I know a lot of people are going to talk about Jalen Brunson, but Karl Anthony Towns, Cat has to be big tonight. Halliburton has to be big for the Pacers, but you look for some of those other role players and what they're going to be able to do, and I think this is where Cat has to really show why New York made the move to go get him. This is huge. And honestly, I'm looking forward to this game, but it's secondary in my mind because you also have Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals in the NHL tonight. The Dallas Stars playing host to the Edmonton Oilers. Man, I look at this game. I mean, it's a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals that obviously Edmonton won, and they went on and lost the Stanley Cup. What I am worried about tonight for the Dallas Stars is historically they're not very good in Game 1s. And I don't know why, but they're not. You know, you look at Carolina last night and the way they got destroyed in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, or Florida, Florida just rolling them. 5-2 was the final last night. In that Florida game, I think that was the first Carolina home loss of the postseason. But I look at the Stars. It wouldn't surprise me if Dallas lost tonight because it's Game 1. Go look at their history. They tend to lose a lot of Game 1s. Don't know why, but they're getting healthy and coming off of a thrilling second-round win. They closed it out in overtime, getting healthier. What I find interesting is the over-under is 6.5. I mean, I don't know that this is a 4-3 kind of game. I really don't, because both goaltenders have been playing really good hockey. So that's going to be on my big TV tonight. Basketball is going to be on the little TV. Depending on how the games are going, I might switch them at some point. But, dude, I'm so excited about the Stars and what they might be able to do. I mean, several weeks ago, before the end of the regular season, they jumped up and became the Stanley Cup favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they weren't the 1 seed. And I wondered, this team has been in the Western Conference Finals twice, 2 years in a row. This 3 years in a row. At some point, they've got to get there. I saw a weird stat. Of the times that teams have made it to the conference finals 3 times, every other team has at least won 1 cup. And the Stars haven't even made it to the Stanley Cup. You got to get over this hump.
I remember I was up for the Disturbed concert up in Chicago when the Miko trade came through.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, I was like, oh, wow. And since then, they have been one of the hottest teams in the NHL.
They've been incredible. What a great trade. And for a guy that's been a cast-off, and he had that stretch where he was getting hat trick after hat trick and just all the points, and they're getting healthier, which is the big thing. We got somebody going to Arlington with us?
We got somebody going to Arlington with us. Congratulations to Lenora.
Lenora. All right, and she can go.
She said she's good to go.
All right, that's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a pair of tickets we'll give away tomorrow, and then again on Friday. Don't forget, Friday, the Blitz Live out at the Lion and Rose, their new location out by the Dominion. Extra innings with Pledge coming up, then Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals starting at 6:30. Here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Wake up with AJ and Rob tomorrow on the Morning Huddle for more kitty talk. And then, of course, the Blitz back tomorrow at 2.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-8841.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our